Good to see everybody. Shelly 10, Shell Bell 10 said, "Hey Travis, I thought your live was starting at 1 o'clock a.m. Oh, not 2. Oh, it's okay. Well, it's okay. At least you're here now. Drippy Chicken Boy, what's up, man? LED in the house. Great to see ya. Oh man, how fun. How was your day? How did everybody's day go? Let me hear it. Oh, Magnus, my man. What's up, dude? Let me make sure all the chats are unfiltered. That way I get everything. And because I don't like to really, I don't like to filter out too many messages, and that's why we have mods. So, very helpful mods, Drippy Chicken Boy and Magnus Mags. They're my two awesome moderators for this channel. So if you come in here acting dumb, overly spamming, or you're picking fights with my subscribers, you're gonna get kicked. But we give everybody a good chance here. So other than that, let's see what we got. Magnus said, pretty good day today, nothing eventful. Just working the slopes, bro. Drippy Chicken Boy said, what's up? LED said, yo. Yep, always good to see the fam here. So today was a good day for me. Woke up a little late just because I stayed up last night painting. That happens, right? So I've been trying to figure out what paint scheme I wanted to do for my Krieg. And I was thinking about going dark, but it was just something about it that was kind of, I don't know, there was just something more to it. So I looked for some inspiration online. And I looked at like desert warfare, and I looked at, the forces in the Middle East, and kind of looked at like what they were wearing. Myself being a GWAT veteran, I remember what I was wearing, right? So digital camo, desert digital camo. I could paint that, but when you're painting Krieg, you're gonna have to do a lot of work to get all your guys done. So after much consideration, I just decided to go with a light desert color, and actually I think it looks pretty good on them. So let me show you what I have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, my boys are done with their armor paneling. I will be also adding transfer tapes to them, and y'all could see my process. I actually think they look really good. I went for an Iraqi sand, which is a really nice color. And it just kind of pops, but not. I'm gonna dirty it up and everything like that, and get it a little bit less clean looking. But I have to say, it almost looks like when you put it on, Vallejo is very dry. It's a very dry acrylic, and it actually really complements the uniform. And just looking at it from all angles, and I wanted to be careful not to make them look like Steel Legion. Like if I would have done like more steel and a little bit more metallic, more yellow, then they could have been Steel Legion, which is an awesome Legion, by the way. But I love my Deathcore Krieg. So going an untraditional route for myself, I decided to do this, and I think I really like the results. And I will be doing the transfers on here, and I can even show you how I do them if you're curious, because there's a lot of ways that people do them. I think I have a really good method down, personally. I will be basing a lot of these guys today, too. So basing is just taking them and literally just gluing them on. That way they have their little base, their little gaming base. I believe these are 25 millimeter bases that you put them on. I have them all over here magnetized, so they're ready to go. You glue them down. For that, I just use Citadel plastic glue. It seems to work out very well. You can use super glue too, but if you're using like Tamiya, it's kind of hard to make it stick sometimes. So plastic glue is what I go for. Excellent. All right, and let's go back to our comments. Magnus said no shift today. Hey, that's good, man. That's good. I know sometimes they work you on the weekends, so at least you have today off. That's nice. LED said, question, Maggie. He said, yo. LED said, yeah. Bourbon Saran said, very helpful information, and Happy New Year, brother. Hey, thank you very much, man. Super welcome. Hey, salute back to you too, man. Awesome. Magnus said, yo, Bourbon, like and subscribe to Kata Crafter Zero. Yes, please. Thank you. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers by March. So end of March is my goal. I'm trying to get there, and I think I know it's possible. So I've already broke the 200, which was amazing. Hitting 200 felt so good. So even getting over 100, like when I first started this channel, I think I was at like 105 or 100 and, less than 150. And now I'm at 200 subscribers, and it's just been a fantastic journey. So a big thank you to everybody who's made that possible. And I want to make sure I'm giving you guys quality content too. And I always have ideas in my head of like, how can I thank my subscribers? Like maybe I could send you guys a mini, like in the mail or something like that, or maybe stickers. Like I'm trying to think of what I can do just to reciprocate, the appreciation that I have for y'all. It's been awesome. So, and always going on live. Last time I did it was on Wednesday. Tonight's on Friday. And then I'm probably going to go live tomorrow night too, just because I seem to get a lot of hits on the weekend. And then Sunday, we usually go to church on Sunday. So, but maybe around like noon, 1 p.m. maybe I'll try to see if I can do a live then and just see how that goes. Just because I looked at all my stats online and I was able to see that a lot of my users are active during certain times. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm, doing my job, which is building this channel. And I want to make sure I'm doing it as effectively as possible, like the big boys do. So, but I'm not pushing anything. I'm not asking you to give me money. I'm not selling anything. If you get ads on any of my stuff, it's not something I like. I hate ads personally. But I'll never push a product that I don't stand 100% behind. So when I get to those deals later on in life. Let's see here. LED said, you look like your shower hot, cold, or middle, Maggie. And he said middle, why? Ellie said no reason. Ellie then said, why the middle? And he said, I don't know. And then LED said, what about burning? Magnus said, no. LED said, I like burning if I don't get a heat rash. I don't want it. Yep. Forever Lurk 2, hey, what's up? Oh my gosh. Awesome. Good to see you, sir. Always good to see you. Yo, Magnus said you have going pretty fast for a Warhammer creator, bro. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm doing it from the ground up. There's no studio behind me. I don't have editors. Like, it's all me. Some of these people that do come in, there are many, they're called tourists, and they're almost like fly-by-nighters. They all of a sudden explode, and they're into this Warhammer thing, but they don't know anything about it. And I question that, right? I mean, it's okay to explore your hobbies and everything, but like, there's a lot of industry plants out there, some that I followed, and then I learned about what they're really about, and I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing. You're just building your channel, but you're basically, you're using your subscribers, and you're not actually as involved as you should be or could be, and you're not as dedicated to your craft. And I'm all for exploring, but like, they don't say that, you know what I mean? Sometimes they don't say that. They really don't. And like, now I see them, the people who are big in Warhammer, all of a sudden they switched over to Star Wars, and they're all about Star Wars. All of a sudden. And it's like, where's your Warhammer content? Oh, wait. They never really cared. They just wanted to snatch up a fan base and then basically abuse it and go on to the next one. You know what I mean? So I'm not like that. If anything, I would probably look at like maybe Trench Crusade, but nah, I don't know. I've learned about it, I've seen it, and I haven't played it yet, so I'm curious to see how the mechanics work. A lot of people say it's a good alternative to Warhammer 40K just because of the Grimdark, right? And I think there is a lot of things that like intertangle with each other, so you could see it's a good side-by-side. It's good competition for GW, if anything, so it makes them try harder. Ideally. So, but I mean, ever since they went on Amazon, I mean, they're making millions and millions, if not probably billions of dollars now with all their deals that they got going on. So good for them. The more money they make, hopefully that transfers over to better models, better gameplay, everything in the like. So All right, let's go back to comments. Forever Lurk 2. LED said Lurk Boy. Oh my gosh. WC, hey, good to see you, WC. Oh my gosh. Magnus said won't be able to join the Saturday live. Yeah, I figured, man. It's okay. Yeah, you'll probably be working or whatever. So Magnus said because I got a shift the next day and I got to be up at 5. Yeah, that's early. My goodness. Drippy Chicken Boy said, hey guys, I'm going to go. I just started. I'm going to eat dinner and then have a busy ass night. All right, that's fine, man. Thank you for stopping by. Waffle Senior, SVR Servicer says hello. Hey, what's up, man? Welcome. Oh, I got another sub. Yes, thank you so much, Waffles, my man. And then let's see here. Everyone's saying goodbye to Drippy Chicken Boy. Yeah, he's got to go, but at least he popped in. That's cool. So maybe, that's what I was thinking about, like on Sunday or something. I might start a little bit earlier just because people have different schedules, and why not capitalize on it? Why not try it? Just see what happens. Forever Lord 2 said the craziest ones are the hot chicks. Yes. See? He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. Yep. Forever Lord 2. The crazy ones are the hot chicks that run a 40K painting for 6 months to a year and then disappear when their contract runs out. You got that right, dude. Those are industry plants, 100%. I don't know who's doing it. If it's some sort of a marketing firm and they get paid by GW to market like in a different way, rather than your traditional marketing, they're trying to reach new audiences, or they're trying to grab more of a base, get more interest. I mean, who doesn't love hot chicks getting into nerdy stuff, right? So sex sells, as they say, or like a good looking guy. But I mean, even then, like most people that are into Warhammer have been into Warhammer, in my opinion. I've been into Warhammer. I haven't been as experienced in gaming, I will admit to that. And I am relatively newer to hobby side of things. But I have known about the lore for over a decade. So I'm not one of those freaking channels, but that's exactly what I'm talking about for Everlord 2. Yep, they pop up, they're little tourists, and then they just disappear. They get their subs, or they move on to a different thing completely, and you check up on them, and they're doing something totally different, like Settlers of Catan, or I don't know, whatever. Maybe they're doing gaming now, or mobile gaming, freaking stupid shit. So yeah, that's what that is. All right. And a lot of people still stick around with them, which is interesting just because they're hot. I'm like, it's not really a reason, dude. They don't care about you. And the thing is you could comment on their stuff, or you could like be in their lives or whatever. They don't give a shit about you. They don't care. They're just there to just do the bare minimum, show interest, and act like they actually care, and they really fucking don't. They only care enough to, depending on how big that paycheck is what that is. And then Magnus said, especially the sequel and Clone Wars trilogy. Interesting. Oh, wow. GW's net worth is $8.5 billion USD. Damn! I did not know that. I remember when they didn't even hit the $1 billion mark. That's crazy, dude. Yeah. That's crazy. He said fact check me, so if anyone wants to fact check him, go ahead. LED said nerd. Manga said I know. And then LED said Maggie, you need a better nickname. Yeah, he's Commissar Magnus, so because he is the moderator of the channel. So Commissar Magnus is the name that I've given him. His title is I've bestowed it upon him because he came up with it, basically. And I was like, that's a badass fucking nickname, Commissar Magnus. So there it is. Forever Lurk 2 said, and then they do hot tub streams and promote their OnlyFans. Yup. Exactly. Again, I'm not complaining, but it's just like, I know what they're doing. They're promoting themselves. They're trying to get money. They know what people, want to see, and it's a shame that they abuse a lot of people that subscribe to them or follow them because they make them think that they actually care when they don't give a shit. If you ran into them on the street, they would be like, get the fuck away from me, is exactly what would happen. Trust me. If you ran into me on the street, I'd be like, there's no way you know who I am. There's no way. But I would definitely like chat with you. I would not be scared. All right. But yeah, those people who are the tourists, as they're called, hobby tourists, they're only there for the paychecks. So Forever Lurk 2 knows exactly what I'm talking about. Alrighty, dighty. So, on to tonight. I will be painting this guy up. So, as you can see, he just has the base black. But I will be using the Iraqi sand. I have all the rest of these guys basically done. I just want to put some transfers on them. I do want to do their little respirator thing. So I'm going to do that in like a leather because that's what I've seen. And then the internals are usually like metallic and there's a little bit of color in there. Not too much. And then I got to paint their belt. Other than that, I mean, and then of course the rifle. I got to do the Laz rifle, right? So I might do it green. Or I might do it like a wooden color. I do have a dry that I can use, and it looks pretty good. But I haven't had as much luck with wood yet. So Sylvath bark, I believe is what it is, as a dry brush. And I'll have to do it with like a little one of these to do it. All right. Magda says, have you set me to moderator yet on Discord? I thought I did. I'm pretty sure I did. LED said, you are nerd. Thank you. Forever Lurk 2 said the 40K to porn pipeline. It's a Slanesh battle rast. Yeah. Yeah. Very Slaneshi. Slanesh is very proud of her little fucking minions, you know. Fucking thoughts. Alright, so just a little bit of Iraqi sand on here. I'm using a narrow brush just because I was using other brushes today, a little bit more broader, and I was not having luck with the consistency. I felt it was too runny just because of the water that soaked up into the brush. So I will be using a more narrow brush to get it. Just a little bit on the tip, a decent amount. History Buff said, do you like World War II? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. World War I and World War II. Yup. I do like World War II a lot. Yes, I do. I'm definitely a history buff, and that's just the military man in me. But even, honestly, even before military, I watch History Channel, like, a lot. And Discovery Channel. I love Discovery Channel. I don't know about History Channel nowadays, to be honest. I haven't watched it because it's just, like, Pawn Stars and, like, fucking, I don't know. I mean, I'm not like totally hating on those, but like that's not history. The only thing that's history about it is what they bring in, and sometimes they're experts that come in and can talk more about it. But there's also a lot of behind the scenes drama about Pawn Stars being fake. I mean, you know, they got to keep their ratings up. So maybe if they're just like, well, shit, we didn't get anyone to bring anything in good today. You know, how are they going to bring these pieces in and talk about it? Or, you know, they have a team that goes out and says, hey, is anyone selling this? Or, you know, however that works, I'm not too sure. And then Forever Lurk 2 did say, like could carry several meanings, but yes, I enjoy history. Yeah, there you go. No, I do. Yeah, I do enjoy history. Do you like history? Like is a small word for I love history. I do. And it's the funny thing is that I change what I love. I really got into Napoleonic tactics for a long time and strategy because that whole period of history is fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating. Absolutely horrible. But man, if you read about the genius of Napoleon, prior to him going into Russia, obviously, where that was a really bad idea. He had the strongest army in the world when they marched in. What was it, a 20-nation army? Yeah, 20-nation army when they went in there. But a lot of them were just forced to do it. You know, they were from like all these various conquered territories of the French. And they didn't really fit in. And if anything, they used up a lot of the resources on their way. And like the marshals, the various marshals or generals, if you will, of Napoleon were just absolutely phenomenal phenomenal. A majority of them. There were some that were very questionable. But if you read up on them, or if you learn about their character and the battles that they fought in, like how they impacted it, it's so cool. I love Napoleonic warfare. Like, I used to think it was the most boring thing ever. Like, oh, where's the fun in that? They didn't have machine guns, you know? Like, they'd stand in lines and march towards each other, and the little drummer boys. Like, no, there's a lot more to it than that, man. And anything medieval, I love medieval shit. Like, of course. The problem with the Dark Ages is that it's pre-Renaissance, and, like, education was really low. Everything was painted back then. The church ruled everything, which is fine. But the Dark Ages is called the Dark Ages because it was a low point. It was after the fall of Rome, obviously, which was considered the Mecca of, like, civilization at the time. And the Muslims, they were having a golden age during that time. They were kicking butt. So they were doing really good. And if you want to learn more about history, start learning about, like, the Mongol Empire and Genghis Khan and how he freaking rode through, and, like, just the craziness of how fast they were able to do it, and the vast swaths of how they were able to take so much territory. It is absolutely fascinating. So if you want me to nerd out about that, I absolutely can. Maggie said, or LED said, Maggie, you effing nerd. Magnus is like, okay, yeah. Maggie, Magnus is fine. I don't know why I keep saying that. LED, don't be too mean to Magnus, please. He's not doing anything to you. Did he do anything to you, Ellie? I don't think so. So please play nice, all right? LED said, goddamn, my autocorrect. Fervlurk 2 says, I've been back into Gettysburg lately. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, Gettysburg. Yeah, you want to learn about the bloodiest battle that the United States during the Civil War ever was? Learn about the Gettysburg. Yeah, Gettysburg battle. I've never visited it personally, but one day I would like to go there and touch grass and pay my respects to what happened there. Because if you didn't know, what war did we lose the most amount of U.S. citizens in? It's the U.S. Civil War, all right? So we lost a lot of people to that, unfortunately. And not to mention those that got injured. Like, medical was not at the levels that they were in World War II, okay? World War I was a little bit better, but not by much. At least the Industrial Revolution made sure that we had a little bit. There was more to it than the average, but, like, during the Civil War, oh, dude, if you get injured on the battlefield, you're fucked. You're probably going to die of something, you know? They're like, oh, he's getting dysentery. Like, you'll die from, like, drinking bad water. You know, you'll die from thirst before you even get shot sometimes. Harken back to Napoleonic warfare, which, holy shit, man. Magnus said, poured monster in my eyes. Matthew Kershaw said, why are you? Why am I? That's quite the philosophical question, man. I don't know how to answer that, but... And then Matthew Kershaw said, I told you. And then LED said, yes, you did. And then Matthew Kershaw said, no, he didn't. LED said, oh. And then Magnus just said, Matthew, you good? And then LED said, fight me about it. Matthew says, I don't know. Okay. Oh, well. That's concerning. You don't know if you're okay. Thank you for asking, by the way, Magnus. And then Magnus said, I'm just low-key chilling, bro. Yeah, you get your night off, dude. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Here we go. Foreverlurk 2 said, speaking of Rome, ... Trump showed off Maduro like Caesar did the Vicengetorix? Who's that? I'm sorry. I actually do not know. I do know... Oh, okay. Vercingetorix? Who's that? I actually don't know that name. And Julius Caesar is... Man, that's a whole thing, too. I have been to Rome, by the way. I have been to Rome. And I have seen Roman architecture. And I have been to the Colosseum at night. And it was fucking awesome. Man, the things in Italy, you want to talk about you're standing on some really old ground. Yeah, take a trip to Rome. It's dirty on top, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of graffiti, there's a lot of trash everywhere. It's kind of grimy. It's not as romantic as you would hope it would be, but I gotta say, the history there is it puts a lot of countries to shame, man. I've been in the catacombs, by the way. So I have been in the catacombs where the dead were buried before they had necropolises, right? So the Romans would bury their dead differently than the Christians, because the Christians, prior to Christianity taking over as the main religion, the Romans, they would basically, I mean, if anything, the Christians had to hide their dead, right? So, yeah, but I've been through there, and it's creepy. Very humbling as well. And I also saw one of the earliest paintings of Jesus Christ on stone that has ever existed. And he doesn't look anything like the Jesus you think he looks like, with long hair. So, very interesting. I've seen it with my own eyes, so it's pretty cool. All right, next, Magnus said World War I was the turning point to modern warfare. It pretty much was. The only thing I would say that was prior to that would be the Russo-Japanese War. That's another interesting conflict. I guess you could call it a war, right? It was a territorial battle over the Korean peninsula, and there was more about like up northern Japan, how it kind of touches Russia. You know, there was a conflict there, and if you didn't know this, the Japanese actually won. They won against the Russians, which was crazy because the Russians were imperial. They were an empire at that time, so they conquered a lot of territory. They were considered, like, at that time, a first world nation, if you will. So they were more superior, they had better technology, all that. But when they fought the Japanese, they didn't understand how the Japanese fight. And when they started doing banzai charges into their machine guns, the Russians were like, what the fuck is going on? And they won. They won that way. They were able to shock Russia into basically losing so many battles, and then Russia it shocked the whole world that the Japanese beat the Russians. So if you want to check that part of history out too, fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. And then by then, obviously, the Japanese started industrializing too. So this was after, and all of you anime nerds would be like, ooh, now he's talking about Japan. Yeah, I could talk about Japan too. The Meiji Restoration, and like when the shoguns all got basically ousted and they became a federal government, right? So it was the federal government against the shoguns, and like all these different old ways of running the country. That's also fascinating too. If you ever seen the movie The Last Samurai, right? Like, I know it's Hollywoodized, and yeah, Tom Cruise is the lead guy, but like, damn, is that a good movie? Damn, is that a good movie? I love that movie. Man, you cannot beat how badass that movie is. Oh, there's a lot of good movies, but you hate Tom Cruise, but like, damn, is he a good actor? All right. LED said, Maggie, I will bite you. Magnus said, fuck off, please. Oh my god. Diego 951 says, I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet. All right. Good to go. Good to go, Diego. Thank you for that. Coming in with the lyrics. That's usually Ellie's job, but you know what? It's okay. Magnus said, it's okay, Ellie. And then Magnus said, we can truce. Forever Look 2 said, the name back to Vercingetorix was a Germanic war chief that Caesar beat in a crazy double siege. Ooh. Then paraded him through Rome in his triumph. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Fascinating. Fascinating. Yeah, I did not know that. I was not familiar with that event. You want to talk about like Rome against Carthage? Holy shit, man. Carthage was considered a superpower back then. So like there was Carthage and then there was Rome. And like they never really met. It was a lot of proxy wars or like territorial disputes and things like that. And I mean, Carthage lost. Carthage lost, which is crazy because Hannibal, one of the greatest generals of Carthage, badass individual, by the way, and you can read about how he did some fighting against the Romans and like other territories and everything like that. Absolutely fascinating. Man, I could talk about that for days. And then it looks like Ellie and Magnus made up, so that's good. Yeah, for now, right? And then Warhammer commentator said Japan was a world power at that time. That solidified them as a world power. The Russo-Japanese War, yes it did. Yep. That put them on the map. Because they industrialized really heavily. They man, the Japanese, you put war in front of them, they're gonna go to war. It's like the Germans, right? The Russians, they'll go to war, but will they win? At high costs, obviously, and they haven't learned their lesson. I don't get the Russians, man. I know you could talk about how they didn't have the Magna Carta and how their people never got, even though they had the revolution, they never really got the rights that we have here in the West. So they're still considered a part of the East, right? Same with China, as much as there is Taiwan right there, and they're a bastion for democracy, or trying to be. They're doing really good. Hong Kong is unfortunately no longer a part of that. They kind of got taken over by the Chinese because I got so much to say about how they are an evil empire, and they really are. If you could even consider them an empire, but they're evil. The Japanese or the Chinese government, I was in the military, and let's just say I've been a part of some interesting briefings about how the Chinese do things, and yeah, they're not the nice guys. They're not the good guys, as much as they think they are, and they'll tell their population they are. No, they're indoctrinating the shit out of them and preparing them for World War III is what they're doing. They got little kids doing machine gun drills and stuff, man, while our kids are on Twitch and whatever, you know. Too busy trying to tie their fucking shoes right. But, whatever. Gotta do this guy's helmet, so just a good coat on this. And I like to do, and again, I have noticed that Vallejo is a very dry paint, but that's not a bad thing for like what I'm doing because I'm painting desert, right? That's my plan with this scheme, this painting schema, if you will, is I'm going for desert colors. And I looked over, I got inspiration from the Iraq and Afghan campaigns or the global war on terror. If you didn't know, we were never at war with Iraq or Afghanistan because we never declared it officially. Kind of interesting, right? Like the last war we ever, besides the global war on terrorism, we haven't declared war on a single nation state or a country since Korea. Because the Vietnam War was technically a Vietnam campaign. So they never declared war on Vietnam because they weren't fighting the country. They were actually fighting for the country against the communists. So they were like, well, we're not technically at war with the Vietnamese. We're at war with the communism and the Vietnamese that want to be communist, which some can argue they won that, right? Don't tell a Vietnam fucking soldier that because they're going to get pissed. But maybe they'll agree with you. I mean, I was in the Afghan war and, well, Afghan campaign, and I'd say we lost. The U.S. lost. No one can conquer Afghanistan. The only one who was able to was Genghis Khan. The great Khan. He was the only one who could fucking conquer Afghanistan. Because many tried before. The Russians tried it. Couldn't do it. Right? You can go all the way back to the ancient Greeks, the Macedonians. They couldn't do it either. They couldn't conquer Afghanistan. Such a vast country, and I don't know, man. It's where countries go to die, I guess. It's weird. All right, continuing on. Luca said, yo, hey, what's up, Luca? Good to see you, man. I remember you from last time. I remember you. And then Diego said, Viking series was great, a little bit based on true history. Oh, I didn't know that. I never watched the Viking show. I'm not a huge Vikings fan. I know that might turn some people off, but like, I don't know. I don't get it. It's not real. I mean, the Vikings are badass and like everything, but like, and I can appreciate the culture. Like, I'm in Minnesota. Like, Viking culture here is big, not just the football team. Like, I've been to like actual Scandinavian stores and stuff, and it is interesting to see their culture because I'm not really familiar with it. But it was all paganism, right? So very interesting, and like how they conquered things. I will say they were very good at sailing the seas and navigation of the seas because a lot of other nations couldn't do it at that level back in the day. You know, I mean, England was lucky if they made it to France. You know, so like here we got, you know, the freaking Vikings, and they're just, man, they were kicking butt left, right, and center. My hands are getting sticky again, and I'm starting to rub some of this paint off. I'm gonna go ahead and put my nitro gloves on. I did do a video about that earlier today, if you didn't see it. Yeah, it's a new habit I want to form, and it sucks because I like painting with my hands. I like touching what I'm doing. I'm a tactful kind of person, tactile type of person. But I just find myself sweating, and my freaking hands get mushy, and it's like I'm rubbing clay, and I'm just taking the paint off. So let me get my gloves on. Also, I got a new energy drink I'm trying out. So, not Monster tonight, Ellie. Not Monster. This is not a paid subscription, but it was just something I picked up. I thought it was kind of interesting. It's got lion's mane in it. It's got cordyceps in it, 85 milligrams of caffeine, which is like about a cup of coffee. I didn't drink the whole thing. I had some earlier. It's a cola flavored, which is kind of interesting. But it's got lion's mane extract, 1,500 milligrams, cordyceps extract, 1,250 milligrams, green tea caffeine, so it's not based off of, you know, coffee, if you will, or whatever. It's like a different type of extract. 85 milligrams, L-theanine, 85 milligrams, and then Panax ginseng. I know what ginseng is, but I don't know what Panax ginseng is. 100 milligrams, so it tastes pretty good. It's like cola. It kind of tastes like a Diet Coke. It's not horrible. And I actually don't mind the zing at the end of it because there's like a little zing at the back when it hits the back of your tongue. It's kind of nice. It's kind of, I don't want to say fruity, but I don't know, it's just something different about the taste of it. But yeah, it's pretty good. If you like a different energy drink, so you want to try something else, there you go. All right. So, looks like our guys are pretty much dry on our base coat. I'm going to go ahead and get the transfers and get ready to base these guys because I want to put them on the little holder. That way I'm not touching them as much and I'm not trying to ruin my work. So, all right. Luca 10 said, what's your name? You talking to me? Oh, my name's Travis. Nice to meet you, by the way. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, please. It'll help my channel. I'm trying to get to 500 by March of this year. End of March of this year. So please, please, please. Thank you, Luca. Hey, what's up, man? LED said, no more Mrs. Nice Guy. Oh, my God. Adriel Contiva said, overall face rating of 6.1 of 10. Top 9% of the population. Thank you, Adriel. Thank you. I don't know what that... Are you talking about me, dude? Talking about me? This light's not the best, but... whatever. I think I'm losing some of my hair, too. Oh, no. My hairline. Whatever. Magnus said, huh? And then Forever Looked just said, what the fuck was that? LOL. I don't know, dude. Adriel said, I'm a 3.2 out of 10 for reference. And then LED said, man, what does that even mean? WC said, who is this person? Adriel said, it means attractiveness. Oh. Forever Lurk 2 said, the random raider of faces. Yep. And then LED said, you're kind of like James. You say random things. Yeah, James Tactics just pops in and out randomly. Like, what the fuck? Ooh, Forever Lurk 2 said, Alexander did it. There are Greek-looking ruins in Afghanistan. Did he conquer it? Did he conquer it? He might have. He might have. You might be right, actually. You actually might be freaking right. Because Alexander the Great, he went all the way to India. You know, before he died somehow. Some say he might have been poisoned. I mean, he probably could have he conquered most of the known world at that time, you know? LED said, I got a song stuck in my head. Go ahead and sing it out. Magnus said, Knights are way cooler, in my opinion, especially the Crusade era. Oh, yeah, dude. I love that shit. You want to talk about the Crusades? There were multiple Crusades, by the way. So there was the First Crusade, the Second Crusade, the Third Crusade. You know, the First Crusade, as we know it, was where the Pope was saying Deus Vult. You know, and that's where that chant came from. It was called the People's Crusade. So a lot of the people that were Catholics, all the Christians, when they heard about what was going on in Constantinople, which is in, you know, Turkey, back then when it was kind of being, it was crumbling already. It was the last of the Roman Empire as we know it, or the Eastern Roman Empire, because it was Byzantinian. And the Caesar of Constantinople was also one of the weakest ones as well. And pretty sure he got murdered by his own people. But he was just weak, and he would basically like placate to the Muslims, because the Seljuk Turks and the Muslims were really strong and really big at that time. Like they were still in their golden age of being Muslims, but they were about to start conquering a lot of what we know of as Europe. So they got into like the Iberian Peninsula, which is in Spain, and then eventually the Spanish were able to beat them back thanks to Isabel and I think Ferdinand. I could be wrong, but whoever she married, they were the ones that were able to kick the Muslims out, and they were able to reconquer the Iberian Peninsula and reestablish Spain as we know it today. So, and then LED said, oh, Magnus said I got Pepsi tonight. Oh, that's cool, dude. That's cool. That's fine. And then, oh, Planet Mooney says, oh my God, you look like Jamin from NCT. Look him up, I swear, and show the live, they'll agree. Not familiar. I have a doppelganger. That'll be the day. Is that a good show? What does he talk about? Curious. Magnus said, the best era, in my opinion, is when knights had guns. Yeah, dude. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. So we can go to the Spanish again, right? The Spanish Empire. We start talking about like the Three Musketeers. So the pike and shot, as it was called, like what a and like siege warfare was definitely a thing, and like undermining and a lot of very interesting times that Europe was in during that time, and a lot of it was just them killing each other. It was just them killing each other, and a lot of it was like the Catholics against the Protestants, you know, so a lot of that was going on. It could be territorial as well. I believe France was really strong at the time, and England was also pretty strong at the time, but the Spanish were really coming up. Belgium was strong, and then was it the Netherlands? I believe the Netherlands were like one of the richest countries in the world because of their ports. And they did a lot of the slave trading. They did a lot of, I mean, they were like the first company to ever be established. The first business or corporation, if you will, Trying to think of what it was called. It was a shipping company, but they were really, really wealthy at the time. And the Dutch were the ones that kind of controlled a lot of money back then. They were the ones making all the big time money. So you could look into them. They hired mercenaries. So I mean, we could go and talk about the Swiss Guard, right? So the Swiss Guard at the time, which I've been to Rome, I've seen the Swiss Guard. People make fun of them for what they're wearing, but if you didn't know, that is a traditional wear, because the Swiss Guard originally, when they were battlefielded as mercenaries during that time, such as what Magnus is talking about, when there were like knights with guns, the Swiss Guard were considered like elite. Like they were unbeatable, you know? Like they had their certain tactics that they used, and their guys were trained a certain way, that they were mercenaries for hire, and the Dutch loved them, of course, because when they showed up, everybody basically were like, yep, we're not playing games anymore, or they could try to rush at them and die, but if they could take on cavalry. So even if cavalry charged them, they would take on cavalry, you know? So fascinating part of history as well, to learn about the Swiss Guard and their mark on history. However small it may be, they're technically still around. So, and it's actually considered a great honor to be in the Swiss Guard. So, they take it seriously, no doubt in my mind. When I saw them, I thought they were cool. I was like, hey, I respect you. I'm from the U.S. Marine Corps. The guy didn't even look at me. He might have acknowledged me a little bit, but, you know, the Swiss Guard, they're very disciplined. So, and they do train in tactics, and they do CQB. Like, they do know modern warfare very well. So, yes, they might have the traditional garb with their, you know, halberd and everything like that, but, like, you put them in a room, and you tell them, hey, kill that terrorist, they're going to do it. So, the more you know. Christina Matthews says, hey, can you teach me guitar? I cannot. LED, maybe she can. Forever Look 2 says, yes, he fully took that shit. Yeah. And then Ben Rudiger said, Alexander the Meh. And then Magnus deleted a couple comments. Interesting. Deleted a lot of comments. I don't know what that's about. LED said, keep up. I'm trying to keep up. Warhair Commentator said, if they spam a few more times. Christina Matthews said, I want to learn E minor and A minor, so now how to play the strumming pattern. That is not my wheelhouse. I apologize. I can teach you in painting, though. Miniature painting in particular. And I'm just going to scroll through that. Forever Look 2 said it would suck to be a pike guy. Yeah. Yeah, it would probably suck, especially if it's like you versus the other pikemen and you just stab each other to death from like fucking 20 feet away or 12 feet away. Like, yikes. Yeah, it would suck. Forever Look 2 said, here's a long stick, stab something. Yeah, literally. Magnus said, where is Steak Boy? I haven't seen him in a while. I think he's on vacation. I'm pretty sure. Here we go. The Dutch East Company. Thank you. Thank you, Diego. Yes, the Dutch East India Company. And we had the VOC. I'm not too familiar with the VOC. I apologize. That must have been another company, another shipping company. Yep. That was the first established business entity as we understand it in modern times. So that's what that is. More talk about guitar stuff. LED said, Steak Boy, I summon you. I will cast a spell to summon Steak Boy. That's so funny. Forever Lurk 2 said the Swiss Guard had a front line of short, stocky guys with shields. Yep. Behind them were the tall guys with halberds and the other polearms swinging over the top. Yeah, dude. The Swiss Guard were pretty fucking badass back in the day. They were coveted. So if they probably got paid really well to fight in some battles. Yep. I did not know that exactly about their tactics. Oh, we got someone talking Japanese in here. Oh, konnichiwa. Hajimanmashite. Kristazov. Zizalamskasi. Hello. Magnus said, hey, Bella Tower, you... Oh, I remember you, Bella Tower. Yeah. LED said, hi, we're on drugs. No, we're not, Bella Tower. She's kidding. We're not on drugs. LED said, because we're on drugs, bye. And Christoph said, question mark? All right. So, let me get some bases and glue these guys down. Where, oh, where are my little bases? Oh, where could they be? I think they're over here, actually. Not this one. Ha! Here it is. Found it. All right. Thank you for your patience. But so I magnetized these myself. So you can just buy the magnets. On the Discord, I will put what size magnets you should buy. If you're looking to do it to where, as you can see, it's like flush with it. I believe it is... I can't remember what tenths of an inch it is, but I can tell you I got them off eBay. And these are the natural strong magnets. So I just used epoxy. So it's the activating epoxy where you have to get the activation along with the actual glue. You stir it up till it gets kind of thick, and then you smear it on there with like a little... you could use anything on it. You could even use your finger if you wanted to. And then you just kind of put the magnet on the middle. Yeah, I did that a while ago, so... But all these bases are ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 guys right now, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. These are the Citadel bases. These are the ones that come in the kit with the little dudes. Usually before I'll bring it down here. Before I glue them down, right, I usually like to just double check, make sure I put the guy on there right. I usually try to put him in the middle if I can. Kind of like that. I'll check his feet, like, oh, he seems a little forward. I kind of eyeball it. And I just try to figure out, like, where I want him to be in the base. Make sure he's pretty stable on there. The problem with this table is it's a little slanted, but if you have the guys a certain way, they'll stand. That's actually really good right there. You could even take, I have white pencil, and you can actually outline their feet if you want to. That way when you go to stick them on the base, that you'll actually get them right where you want them to be. So I do have, let me see if I can find that real quick. Hold on. It's just a certain type of white colored pencil you can get. It's actually used for fabric. And it works very well, if I can find the darn thing. If I can't, oh well. Do it the old-fashioned way, which is eyeball it. Maybe it's in here. No, it's okay. What the hell? Yeah, delete those. Thank you very much, Magnus. I don't know where these people are coming from. Go back to Africa. What is he talking? Why are there... Forever Lurk 2, what's going on, dude? Magnus, what is going on with these weird people coming in? I don't understand what... my Forever Lurk 2 said, I've heard of that song, I vouch for Ellie. Ooh, what song is that? Oh, it's a song. It goes on where we do drugs. That's the one. You're right. You know, I actually heard a song today, and I was like, oh, this is actually okay. It's kind of nice. And I found out it was a ghost song, and I was like, what the hell? What the helly? It's a ghost song? That's crazy. It was like the Mother Mary one. It was a violinist I was listening to, and she was in the woods, and she was violining to the Mother Mary song, and I was like, wow, this is actually beautiful. So I don't always listen to classical music, but every once in a while I do enjoy it, and especially when it's a good mix-up between metal if you will, or rock, like an orchestra. Sounds kind of cool, you know, and I heard it and I was like, oh shit, that's a Ghost song? I didn't know that. So, look at that, I actually kind of like a Ghost song. I might not like Ghost the band, but that's the first time I've ever been like, oh, it's a decent song. You know, I know usually I like the heavier shit. Like, I love heavy metal, don't get me wrong. I love fucking... I grew up listening to Pantera, fucking... So many fucking metal groups and shit back in the day. I've experimented with death metal a little bit. I don't like death metal. So, not my scene. Sorry, I got a little piece of something that won't come off. With that being on there. Come on, you. Come off of it. There it goes. Okay, that's better. I like to have a nice, smooth... And the reason why I scrape the feet is because I want to make sure that there's no acrylic on the bottom of the feet. If you go to glue it down and there's acrylic on the feet or any paint, it won't get a good seal. You want plastic on plastic contact. So remember that, people. When you're assembling your minis, do not fully paint them and then glue them together. They will break apart. With your fingers, they will break apart. So if you want to do it right, assemble your minis, and then if you want to, you can paint them all in one go. That's fine. Obviously, you prime them first. But it's a really good idea to make sure that you get plastic on plastic contact when it comes to doing these bases. And then I'm just going to gently take this guy and I'm just going to slide him over here. So he's out of the way. Let's do the next one, right? So just check him real quick. As you can see, he does have paint on his feet. That is a no-go. So this is for those that are still new to Warhammer, or maybe you I've met people who are like, I've been doing Warhammer for years, and then I watch them do it, and I'm like, what are you doing? Bad habits are hard to break, people. I saw a guy who, a YouTuber, and he was showing off some tools. This is another thing you got to look out for on YouTube, is the hobby review guys, the hobby tool review guys. And I'm not saying all the channels are like that, but some of them. There was a guy who was doing, like, I bought stuff off Temu, and can I do it for Warhammer 40K? And he starts to review an airbrush, and this guy starts using the airbrush, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? That is not how you use an airbrush. Like, his technique was all off. From me, by the looks of it, it looked like he'd never used an airbrush in his life. And then he was complaining about the pattern, and then he was complaining about the consistency, and he was complaining about the color and everything. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, he was doing this. I'll show you. So when you're spray painting, you don't do this. You don't flick it, okay? Because what happens every time you do that, the cap, it's going to spatter. It's going to do a little shotgun effect. You don't want to do that when you're airbrushing, okay? When you're airbrushing, this is hard to do. Down, then back. When you're done with your spray, up and then off. It's controlled. So if you're doing it like that. Sometimes I even test the air, just make sure the air's good. I'll make sure the nozzle's good. It's not clogged. It does clog. Every freaking airbrush is going to clog. The only thing you could do is maybe get better paints, right? Or like water them down appropriately. That way they flow better through it. I will be using these inks eventually. I want to see how these work. They're made for airbrushing too, so I want to see how those function, because a lot of professional miniature painters, they use a lot of the airbrush, and man, do they do some wicked art with it. They're able to make lava look good. They're able to get those glowing effects really well. And that's where I want to be at. So that's a skill I want to upgrade in. But like, I saw this guy doing a review on a mini, and he's literally holding it like this and just shooting it all over it. Like, he's going like this. And he's like, this thing sucks. I don't like this airbrush. And I'm like, dude, what are you... That's not how you airbrush. So if you're going to watch certain channels, be careful. They might not actually know fully what they're talking about sometimes. I don't pretend to know everything either. No one is perfect. I understand that. But like, if you're going to review an item, you might want to understand on how to basically work it before you make yourself look like an asshole on freaking your channel. You know, it's like me using these clippers, right? And I'm like, I'm not even doing it right. Like, I'm trying to like clip it on the back end or something, and everyone's like, what the heck are you doing, dude? Why are you clipping like that? Like, every tool that you use as a painter, as a miniature hobbyist, there is a right way to do it, and there's a lot of wrong ways to do it. Okay, there's a few better ways to do it, don't get me wrong, but generally there is a better way of doing it. You know, like if you're going to use this, did you know you could use the backside to scrape it as well? You know, you don't have to just use the blade, because this is a perfectly flat back right here, and it's sharp. It's at a 90-degree angle. You can use this to get a perfectly flat surface if need be, because when you're doing this, it's kind of hard to angle it to make sure it's perfectly flat. But if you flip it over, you know, you can usually do pretty good work with that sometimes. So if need be, another thing I do is if I need to sand something flat, I literally just put it on the ground, like with a piece of like sandpaper, or it's flat, and I'll just grind it on there until it flattens perfectly. So as long as the floor is flat, right? And Magnus is working hard. He's cutting people down left and right in the comments that are just spamming the crap out of this. Well, I appreciate it, Magnus. Thank you, sir. LED said, why am I on a bathtub? She's doing the lyrics still. So Foreverlurk2 said, I've never used an airbrush to paint meanings. Oh, I'm old school brushes, sponges, and tinfoil. There you go, dude. Hey, if it works for you, like, I would rather take a painting lesson from you than that guy. You know, because like that guy like clearly has never picked up an airbrush, and I'm just watching him going. I was so furious I had to type in the comments. I'm like, bro, you're a YouTube channel with like thousands of subscribers, by the way, so good for him. But I'm like watching him do this, and I'm just cringing so hard at his techniques, and I'm like, that's not how you do it, my guy. So, and the crazy thing is I went into the comments and like nobody else said anything about it. Like hardly anybody. There were like 1 to 2, maybe 3 comments like mine where they're like, what are you doing? So, yeah, you know. I'm getting into airbrushing more. So, especially when you're doing big stuff for Everlurk, like if you're doing terrain and you're trying to hand paint that shit, I mean, if you can, go for it. But like sometimes it's better to just take a rattle can or an airbrush and just spray paint the shit out of it and just call it a day, or airbrush it, you know what I mean? So, because I've tried using these paints like an idiot with a brush, and I'm like, I can do this. Man, I was hating myself after like, I don't know, 40 minutes in, and it just doesn't look right. The consistency isn't there. I'm using up so much of my paint, and it just, I don't know. My brushes were getting destroyed too because like it was FDM printed. It wasn't resin. So it was like kind of scraping away at the synthetic brushes. I mean, these are throwaway brushes. So that's another thing too. If you're going to get into mini painting, learn what brushes work for you. I'm not going to recommend one over another. But for me, like these Royal and Land Nickel brushes, from these yellow ones from Hobby Lobby, like $7 for a pack of however many of them. I got them right here, actually. I buy them every once in a while. I've had really good luck with these. Just as like cheap brushes you can go and get. You don't have to go to like an art store and pay up the ass. Yeah, these are $6. And there's like 2 different types that you can get. This one's probably the most handy one right here. So if you want to go ahead and screenshot that, it'll have the number along with the $sign. I would recommend these. As you can see, there's some brushes missing because I'm using them now. So, but these are good just as like throwaway art brushes. I have like this really big brush, maybe for terrain, but I'm not really going to use that on anything, you know what I mean? But like, don't be afraid to use different types of brushes. I will tell you the Citadel paint brushes are fucking trash. These things suck. They're not good. This is a starter brush, so like I'll use it for priming every once in a while. I do have it. I got it for free. That's why I have it. But like this thing is so bad. Don't buy these. They're expensive. You don't need them, and they freaking suck. So fight me on it, but that's just my opinion. And then Army Painter does make pretty good dry brushes, so if you're looking for some dry brushes, they got good stuff. And then there are many good, you know, Sable brushes, Kolinsky brushes, all that, like really awesome. I got these Curate colors, which are also from Hobby Lobby. These are very nice. These are very nice. These are like my more, my nicer brushes. I don't want to ruin, you know, and I have a couple natural hair ones, but honestly, I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's the way I'm using it, but I'm just having trouble using them properly. So it could be just me, right? Like I'm not perfect. I do this full time, but it doesn't mean I know everything. And if I don't feel fully confident with it, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to review it. I'm going to research it. If I can, take a class to upgrade my skills and do it the right way, just like everything else, right? Like Magnus, you're a ski instructor, right, dude? How many people have you met? Are you even allowed to let people on your hill that have never skied before? Or they just sign a waiver and that's it? Like, I would imagine people would want to learn how to ski properly, you know? Like, it's like going to the gun range. If you've never shot a gun before, you might want to take lessons. And sometimes asking your uncle to do it might not be the best idea because he might have bad habits too. I was a firearms instructor in the military. I instructed hundreds of Marines on qualification along with just shooting and tactics, which I could talk all about that shit all day. But I'm a little rusty, you know. I haven't been keeping up with it, right? So this is my new hobby. But like if I ever encounter someone who's never shot a gun before, I'm like, well, luckily you're with me. I will teach you the correct way to do it. Doesn't mean it's the best. You know, I'm not a fucking Delta operator, fucking SEAL Team 6, whatever. Yeah, those guys could probably teach you, but they're also going to charge you up the ass for it. But those guys are usually pretty humble for the most part. Sometimes they're not, right? But they're professionals. They're very good at what they do, and I would listen to them. Like, I have taken a class from a Delta operator. I paid for it. He gave me a class on combat pistol and assault with a carbine. And it was one of the best classes I've ever had with a Delta operator, retired. But yeah, really cool, definitely worth it. But if you're going to do anything and you've never done it before, I would highly, highly, highly recommend at least taking an introductory class to it. It's like golfing, right? I mean, you could just go out there and just start swinging the damn thing, but like it helps to do at least an introductory class or something to just kind of get yourself acquainted with what you're going to be using. That way you're doing it right, you're doing it safely, and you're still going to have fun, you know, and at least you get something more out of it rather than just, you know, guessing what you're doing. All right, gluing down the second one on the base here. I got them in a pretty good position. Just got to hold that. Magnus said, yeah, me too, Lurk. I gotta scroll through the comments here. Magnus said, I got a Lego set. It's low-key badass. Oh, really? Go ahead and share it in the Discord, brother. What was it? Which one is it? I have Legos too, by the way. I'm just gonna slowly move him over. And I would let this to cure. I mean, it could probably take about like 20 minutes for it to harden, but I would give it a full 12 hours before you start painting these things, okay? So if you didn't know this as well, resin does take time to cure, and so does plastic glue. So there is a curing time, and if you didn't know, resin can explode. So there are warnings that if you get stuff off Temu, maybe they didn't do it right, and there's like toxic substances that can come out of these things. So if you get them, just be careful with it. If you're 3D printing yourself, make sure you know what the fuck you're doing, okay? If you're buying things from other people, just have that as a caution because it can leak toxic substances. Unless if you like pouring it in your eyes like Ellie, because Ellie likes pouring things in her eyeballs and she can just handle it. So she's a little badass. That ain't me, bro. LED said, I found my old toys from the 90s. Ooh. Hey, if you didn't know this, toys, old school toys are like pretty hot. Like you can sell that shit for a lot of money. It's like a reselling thing that's going on. Like, they're really cool, but like it's like $300 for a fucking He-Man set, and you're like, yeah, I don't know if it's worth it, you know, or $1,000 or whatever for fucking Skeletor, and it's like that's ridiculous. I like Spawn action figures, McFarlane toys personally, especially the old school ones. I think they're fucking cool. I do own one. The other ones I got rid of from when I was a kid, unfortunately, but I love those guys. So that's where I kind of got my Grim Dark from, right? Forever Lurk 2 said, nice. I got in trouble for buying my first son a Lego set too early. Oh no. Yikes. And LED said, you know the Polly Pocket things? Of course I do. I remember that. I got 3 sisters. 2 of them I lived with. But yeah, I know what Polly Pockets are. LED said, my mom got me the ones for guys. They're dope. Oh, that's interesting. I think I still have them. Still got Max. So Max is one of them. It's crazy. Interesting. GW trying to sell us a single brush for 50 bucks is wild. Exactly, dude. Yeah. Citadel brushes can go fucking suck a fat one. They suck. They really freaking suck. Kyrick says, that's going to itch when it dries. In your eyes, yes. Forever Lurk 2 said, my wife got me a really nice set from Artis Opus. Ooh. I'm going to add that to my list, dude. Artis Opus? Never heard of those. Yeah, I want a nice set too. I have some, right? I'm going to use these for like Abaddon and shit. Let me see. I got a wet palette. I don't even really use it. Alright, I haven't had luck with a wet palette either. So I looked up on how to use the damn things, and I don't understand it. I don't like the consistency personally, but I can understand if you're doing a lot of blending. So these are my nicer brushes. These are the ones that I got, the Curate in Colors, just for small miniature painting. I like these, and I got these as well. These are, I think these are Royal and Land Nickel. Yep. These are, yeah, Royal and Land Nickels, but these are the blue ones. These ones were a little bit more money, so these are like the premium, a little bit better synthetic. But, you know, I also like the handle as well, so the handle's a little bit different. They're nice. They're nice, you know, a little bit more money. Sometimes it can be worth it, you know, but once those brushes are done, just throw them away. You can try to mend them, and I've seen people that, you know, once they start curling at the tip like this, you know, you can only use it for so long, and I like cut them sometimes. Like I kind of trim it to make it last a little bit longer, but like mostly after a while, once the tip starts to curl or the brush starts to curl, you cannot uncurl it. That's the problem with synthetic brushes. If it starts to do that, you're either going to just throw it away or keep it as like a basing one. So I'll use this, or as like if I'm doing priming, and let's say the airbrush can't get in there, I'll just take a brush and just put some primer on it, and I'll actually like just paint over it. It's a little bit thicker of a consistency, but it's fine. And if I can't get in there with the airbrush, like when I'm doing Krieg, I do not like having unprimed areas showing. That to me is like, that's like a rule that I have. I'm like, I do not want to see any of my minis where I can actually see the unprimed plastic. If I ever do that, fucking tell me about it. If you're like, oh, I see it. I don't like it. That's just me, okay? Everybody's different, right? Everybody's standards are different. Some people really take their time into painting. I like to take my time in painting, and I think if you're going to do the hobby and you want to get more into the hobby side of things and understanding like how to make better minis and like painting, like I enjoy that and I take pride in it. So like these Krieg, I'm not going to paint them to like the highest level. You know what I mean? Like, because I have 1,000 of these guys, and like I'm going to be marching these guys to the death, where they're going to go up and they're going to get killed pretty fast. So, but I will do a good job. But these will not be like my highest detailed ones, you know what I mean? But if I get a tank, yeah, I'm going to take my time on the tank because I want the tank to look fucking badass. All right, let's glue this next one down. So his feet are good. I already scraped these off, so there's no paint on the bottom. As I said, you want that plastic to plastic contact. So Citadel does make pretty good plastic glue. I would highly recommend it. I just put a good dab on the feet. I don't coat the feet in glue, but just a little line right down the middle is pretty good. You don't want to overdo it because then it'll pool and then it'll start to like melt the actual feet and he'll kind of sink a little bit because it is dissolving the plastic because it creates a molecular binding between the plastics. So let me go ahead and stick the little squad leader here down. He's got a fucking power sword and I like him a lot. So I might take a little bit of extra time with certain units, right? So that's another thing, is when you're painting your minis, you can also choose which ones you'd actually like to take more time on. So if you have a Krieg with a flamethrower, right? He's got a flamer with a backpack. You can take a little bit of extra time and just really detail him and it'll look really fucking cool if you want to. Right? Or like a squad leader or something that's like your centerpiece, like Lord Marshal Dreyer or a Krieg Commissar, right? So like Magnus did a very good job with his Krieg Commissar because that's a showcase model. That's like your centerpiece, right? Like you take pride in that. And every Krieg that you do, ideally you want them to all look about the same. There can be some differences between them here or there, but for the most part, I'm going to push him back just a little bit. Yeah, make sure he's centered as well. Yeah, he looks pretty good. All right, I'm just going to take him and move him off to the side. So it's like a little operation, right? And then this one, some of the primer got off of his knees because I was touching him. So I'm using gloves now. These are nitrile gloves, so these are, I actually use these to clean guns too. Because I don't like touching all the oil and gets all over you and whatever. But it's just something I do because if I have to like change tasks and my wife's like, hey, can you make me dinner or whatever, I don't have to like go wash my hands. I just take these off and I'm good to go. Or I just wash them real quick and they're not, you know. Anyway, so let me scrape off these feet a little bit, make sure there's no acrylic on the bottom of these feet because it will mess with the binding. So if you've ever done bricklaying, which I have, you want to make sure that there's no contaminants if you're doing cementing or if you're bricklaying and you're you're putting them together. You don't want to have like sticks and leaves in there because those impurities will contaminate the seal and it'll actually crack because it's organic and it'll decay over time. So same thing goes for this, right? I also blow on it just because I don't want any like little fibers or if I see anything on here like a hair, like hair gets on my stuff. I can't help it. I got 3 rabbits. But like, you know, I try to make sure that I have the surface as clean as possible. Some people do like sand, like you can sand stuff and you can make it so it bonds even better. If you have time for that, it doesn't really take that long. It's up to you, right? Like there's a million ways to skin a cat. Go one line. And there we go, one line. Let's go back to chat. Magnus said people are allowed on the hill without a waiver, but there's lessons too. If I see a person who's struggling, I'll tell them to go to the beginner hill. Yeah, nearly all of our injuries come from beginners. Isn't that something? Interesting. The Autistic Den said, I love Alice in Chains shirt. Thanks, brother. I love Alice in Chains, dude. I was not born during the fucking heyday, but I was born when Lane Stanley was still alive. And I did see Alice in Chains live without Lane Stanley, but the singer that they got for them is actually really good. And if you close your eyes and you're in the crowd, it sounds just like him. You know, his legacy lives on. R.I.P. to Lane Stanley. LED said, get the fuck out of the way. She's probably doing more lyrics. Alert 2 said, personally, I have enough weaponry to outfit a full squad with long arm and sidearm. I am ready for the zombies. Fuck yeah, dude. You and me, Forever Lurk, we would be very good friends in real life. I love guns too. I don't have a lot. I have a couple. I have my AR. I got my shorty AR. And I got my my good competition pistol. It's not like super expensive. It's not like a 2011, or what I want is a SIG 226. I really want one. I've shot one and I'm like, damn, this thing is sick. I would love that pistol. But I do have like a Glock 34. It's a competition pistol technically. It's not modded out or anything like that, but you know, I like it. It shoots really accurate and it feels good in the hands personally. A lot of people don't like Glock, but that's just me. And then I have 2 carry pistols, so one for the bedside, one for the out and about. I don't have to really carry anymore because I feel pretty safe around here where I'm at. Magnus said a Lego Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. Oh, that's dope, dude. Oh, that's exciting. Good for you, man. Hell yeah. Which color? Is it red or what color is it? Kyrick said, I would rather never shoot a gun. Only cowards make them to put people behind them to do their bidding. Yes, of course. So you can't own a gun and shoot it for fun, is what you're saying? You have to be a robot? What are you talking about, bro? LED said, get out of the way, cameraman. Let the children watch. Okay. Charlie Hazel Walsh said, can you say hi to me, please? Well, hello. Hi. Magnus said, hey. LED said, what's up? Con Ghost Cosplay said, what you painting? Hey, brother. That's so good. That's great to freaking see ya. I am painting Warhammer 40K, so miniature painting. Right now, I'm just gluing them on their bases, so nothing crazy. And then Magnus said the same thing. Con Ghost Cosplay said, I've heard of those. Recently, I've been looking into them. Really? Well, that's great. What are you looking at, as Magnus asks? That is a great... Yeah, dude. Hey, Con Ghost Cosplay, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to this channel, I would love to have you, and we can talk about it, and I can show you what I do and how we do it. You can also get access to the Discord for free. I don't have a paywall, okay? And then Con Ghost Cosplay says, my local game store has some, but I don't know where to start. Any recommendations? LED's just doing song lyrics, so don't worry about that. Rodolfer Dogan says, hi, Magnus. Do you know who Magnus is? LED said, if you hate me, why are you talking? You don't make no fucking sense. More lyrics from a song. Kai Kirk said, what would you look like a medal? Congrats, you're on drugs. No one gives a fuck. Stop being attention. She's just doing song lyrics, Kyrick. Chill, bro. I know, it's... If you don't know who she is, you're not going to understand it. But she's just having fun. Magnus said Space Marines is a great starter spot. One of the best armies right now, or maybe, are respectable too. Yeah, if you do Ultramarines, like Con Ghost Cosplay, Ultramarines, as much as they get a lot of shit, like, honestly, they have such a wide range, and now they have the 500 worlds, and there's so much you can do with them. It kind of sucks to be any other Space Marine chapter. I hate to say that, but they just don't get as much attention. Like, Space Wolves have gotten some attention. I think Salamanders need more attention, personally. Blood Angels need attention big time. They have a lot of very old units, and it sucks because they're such a cool legion, and their lore is just awesome. And then Howie 420 Doobie said, do you eat Snickers upside down to feel the veins? Oh, you nasty, nasty boy. Oh my God. That's fucking funny, dude. LED said I shoved them in my eyes. ZXZoo said, oh shit, sick. I was literally thinking about picking up this hobby. Really? Dude, welcome, welcome. LED, can you stop saying we're on drugs? Please? Please stop saying that. You're scaring people off. So, I love you, Ellie, but as a friend, please stop saying that. Thank you. Sorry. I don't mean to be a dick. It's throwing people off. Howie's the kind of guy to eat a banana for the shape. Oh my God. My favorite model is the Krieg Commissar. Absolutely. And then Liam Zixushu says, "Is this dude reading chat?" Yes, I am. I'm a little bit behind. Yeah, I have a lot to catch up on. Let me just go all the way down. You know, I'm gonna have to mix a lot. I'm gonna have to. Yeah. All right. So Forever Lurk 2 said, "Screw the meta. Play orcs. Orcs are the best. Orcs are very fun, and they're also very fun to paint. There's a lot you can do with them. So." Unfortunately, on the meta, they're not really winning anything, but they are pretty cool, and there's so much variety to the orcs. And yeah, they have a lot of older models, but like Imperial Guard is hard to play personally, in my opinion. I don't think they're for they're best for new players. That's just, again, my opinion. All right, this guy is kneeling. I'm going to go ahead and get him based on here. If you were to do Adeptus Custodes, they are relatively cheap to enter into the hobby with. You don't have to spend as much money. You get a lot more points out of the box. We were talking about this a while ago. They play pretty good on the tabletop. Yes, there's a lot about the some of their units you can't play in 40K because you have to play in like different you know, gaming systems, if you will. So I can't say that they're perfect by any means, but Adeptus Custodes are pretty good. I would recommend looking up the lore, dude. Look up the lore. Understand the world before you just jump in. As much as it is exciting, like this is a hobby where I think people should take it a little bit more seriously. You know, I'm not saying don't have fun, but I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna get into this hobby, I think a little bit of an acquaintanceship and understanding the fundamentals, not with just the playing system. Of course, that's core rules, and then we go into more advanced stuff, such as like Codex. I guess you could consider that fundamentals to playing the game, but I think just looking at the lore and just understanding the different factions, you can kind of, and if you go to a model store and you're just like eyeballing one over others, and you're like, this one looks really fucking cool, go for it. Okay, but I would recommend sticking to it. Okay, I would recommend if you're gonna buy it. Hold on, I'm getting some plastic glue issues here. I bought another one, so if this one's out, it's okay. I bought another one just the other day at a hobby store. Come on, girl. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, but if you're gonna get into this hobby, I just recommend for anybody that's new, enjoy it, man. Enjoy learning the process, and you know, kind of acquaint yourself with what it is. And I think once you go to your hobby store and you look around, you'll be like, wow, these guys look really cool. They look like fun. And it could be the fucking Eldar, right? Just don't play Tau. Don't play Tau. I'm kidding. They have battle suits, all right? Some people love the Tau. Battle suits are kind of cool, but yeah, I don't play Tau. I don't care. I don't care about their lore personally. I just don't care. So, but I mean, if you want to play them, you can. Again, it's whatever catches your eye, man. Like, I play the bad guys, right? I'm a chaos player. So I like the bad guys, but I also have Krieg. So they're Imperial Guard. They're the good guys. Quote unquote the good guys. For the Emperor, right? Too bad for your fucking civilian populace, but for the Emperor. But I really like the Krieg. I'm learning more about their lore. I do know enough about their lore, but not as much as I would like to. So, and I just like the way that they look. I like the World War I aesthetic. I just love it. I love trench warfare. I don't love it in real life because it's fucking horrific. But like for what it is, I just love their aesthetic. It's as grim dark as it can possibly be, man. If you're an Imperial Guard player, fucking grim dark as shit is the Krieg. They are the grim darkest of all of the Imperial Guardsmen, okay? So, let's see. Hey, them Brahmi. Hey, I remember you. I remember you. You haven't been in a while, man. Yeah, I do remember you. Hello. Forever Lurk 2 said Bricky is a YouTube channel that has a big lore breakdowns. Yep. Bricky makes it fun as well. Bricky makes it fun. He does. And he has a very good understanding. He's not like, 100% on, KL and Wotherspoon says, huge fan. Can you wish my girlfriend a happy birthday? Her name is Lou Cecil. Lou, happy birthday. Hello, hello. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Lou. Happy birthday to Lou. I don't know your age, but happy birthday. Like and subscribe. How old is Lou? And then Forever Lurk 2 said, ask Trav. What's up? Who's asking me what, brother? About Bricky? LED is still on the we're on drugs, cameraman, get out of the fucking way, let the kids watch. LED is not listening. What do I do, Magnus? What do I do when Ellie doesn't listen? All right. Magnus said, yo, Travis, I got a joke, and I threw the Lego set in the Discord. Oh, you got a joke? Dude, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What's the joke? I have a Warhammer joke I created, so I'll tell you one. Yeah, give her the timeout. Maybe. Oh, I don't want to do that. She keeps doing it. Oh, I'm so torn. What do I do? I don't like doing that. Oh, I don't like... Yeah. Fuck. Just let her go. Just let her go. Just let her go. Just let her go. It's okay. It's Ellie. We love her. We respect her. I did say stop. With the drug stuff. Sorry. Not that song, Ellie. Some other song, not that song. Kung Fu Panda. Hey, man, do you remember me? I do remember you. What's up, man? I haven't seen you in a little while. How are you? Happy New Year's. LED said I left for a minute, so I don't know. Sorry. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, that's probably why. Maybe you missed it. Yeah. Just because you're... there's just causing... I don't know. I don't want to be that guy, but... Like... I was a Marine. I was a fucking staff sergeant. I had to yell at people. I had to, like... I had to correct people and all that, and I had a platoon. I've been a squad leader, I've been a team leader, and like I've had to work with a lot of people over my years, and not everybody loved me for it, but like if you're a good leader, not everybody's gonna love you, Ideally they should, like they should respect you, but like you're not gonna get along with everybody, and sometimes you have to do the tough things that nobody likes to do. But if you stand up for your people and you take good care of them, they'll have your back no matter what. You know what I mean? So I might not know them as much as I would like to, especially when you have a group of like 40 plus people. It's kind of hard to get to know everybody, especially in the reserves where people drop pack randomly and you're like, fuck, I thought that guy loved it here. So, but people do it for their own reasons. But like a lot of people I elevated, and if I recognized them as a good leader or as a good Marine, I made sure that they got awarded or they got recognized. So I'm definitely of that mindset. So Ellie, this is just a little talk of cut that out, please. And thank you. All right. Kung Fu Panda said, thanks. Happy New Year's and New Year, New Me. Good for you, brother. Forever Luke 2 said, here we go. I told a private to hit the tree line. Yep, that means run. Run and touch the trees, and it's like 300 meters away. You're like, you see that tree? Go fucking touch it. And they'd be like, oh, I saw it. And they'd go fucking run over there and get it. And then when they come back, you're like, go touch that tree next to it. Run. Yep. Touch the tree line. Oh, I remember that. But Forever Lurk 2 said when he told me he had to piss, he ran to the woods and started punching a tree. What an idiot. Magnus said, here's the joke. Why do midgets laugh when they play soccer? Why do they laugh when they play soccer? Fuck, I don't know. Why do they laugh when they play soccer? LED said, in God you trust, my mummy dust, dust, my mummy dust. That's fine. You could do that, Ellie, all day. Just not the drug song. That song's fine. Other songs are fine. Just not the drug song. Thank you. All right. Okay. Yeah, dude, I've also been under the tutelage of many disgruntled corporals and sergeants who they would haze the piss out of us. Yeah. Yeah. It sucked. Like having to bury your rifle after running all day in 110-degree weather, and because someone left their rifle in the porta shitter when we were all supposed to step off to go to a rifle range, and one of our guys in our platoon, a new guy, forgot his rifle in a fucking porta shitter. What? So after he got his rifle, we got done with the rifle range. It was a long day, by the way. The sergeant said, hey, all of you fuckers with me now. And we're like, aye, sergeant. There were like 8 of us. 110 degrees out, still hot, even with the sun going down. And they said, run. We're going to run. We're going to go on a run. And there were 2 sergeants with us, so we knew we fucked up real bad. We ran around the whole base. The entire fucking base. And then we would stop and do push-ups with our rifles until, you know, we would collapse, and then we would continue running. And then we got to this one part where it was all sand and dust. And he said, get down in the plank position. We get down in the plank position, and he said, I want you to bury your rifles in the plank position. Go. We were absolutely dog tired. We covered our rifles up until we couldn't even see them anymore. And then he said, all right, get your fucking rifles out now. And we were starting to dig, and he said, I told you to fucking hurry up, get your fucking rifles out right goddamn now. And we were just ripping through this thing until our nails were bleeding to get our rifle. And he said, pick that shit up, we're running again. And we ran around the entire base again. We finally got back, and he said, you gonna do that again, Moore? Moore went, no, Sergeant. We were covered in sweat and dust and dirt. Our rifles were absolutely trashed. And he said, clean your fucking rifles. They better be clean in the morning, or we're gonna do it again. And we said, yes, Sergeant. There's a little taste of the military life back in the old Corps, in the old Marine Corps. So I guarantee you Forever Lurk 2's got some really good stories also. So yeah. He knew better, okay? Like, he knew better. He fucked up. And instead of, you know, making it a little thing, it was a big thing later on. So we knew we were in trouble. So anyway, these guys are on the base. I'm going to go ahead and set these guys to the side while they cure. So again, like 12 hours, I would say. Yeah, they could technically, like, they could be on here within like 15, 20 minutes, but like don't paint over this because the bond is not sealed, and if you get liquid inside of the seal, it's going to break off. So there you go. That's how you glue your minis together. You put them on a base, and it really matters when you put them on a base because you don't want your minis to break off during gameplay or during transport, because these have magnets on the bottom, right? If I put this down on the magnet tray and I go to pull my mini off the magnet tray, it better stay on there, or else it's gonna, you know, it's gonna freaking break your feet off of your guys, and I have done that before. I didn't know that, so that was a while ago, but just make sure you have these things cure over time. All right. Do. Let me grab something to drink too. I'm feeling water. I'm kind of thirsty. Just water. As much as I usually drink my pop and stuff, I just want water. I just want to stay hydrated. So, hey, I got 12 likes. Thank you very much. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing if you're enjoying this type of content. Let's see. LED said you're kind of scaring me. So I can say it? Yeah, you can say it. Sorry I'm scaring you, Ellie. I PTSD'd out on you. I PTSD'd out on everybody. But yeah, just a taste of what I used to be like way back in the day. I used to be... I'm not like a big asshole, right? I treat everybody with respect until you don't treat me with respect, or until I need to carefully supervise you. Like, if you're doing everything right, or if you're still learning, I'm not going to be as hard on you, okay? I'll make sure that you're physically tough. I'll make sure that you're mentally tough. But, like, I'm not a huge asshole who's going to hurt their guys unnecessarily. I don't think that many people learn that way. I did get punished, but I was actually a pretty smart Marine, so I didn't get hazed as much, you know what I mean? So I was able to answer the questions and, like, handle myself pretty well in front of most seniors, and they kind of liked me. So luckily I didn't get the ass end of, like, you're a piece of shit, boot, and you're going to freaking die, and I'm going to make sure you die. No. Here we go. LED said, oh, triangles. Hey, what's up, man? Good stuff, triangles. Angle boy, yeah. Waffles SVR, you do sound familiar. I think I remember you. I don't know why you're in all caps, but I think I do remember you. Magnus said, why do midgets laugh when they play soccer? I don't know, Magnus. You didn't tell me, man. Crestfallen Kitty says, I think it would be cool if a mini was just held together with tiny magnets. That way you can take off pieces to simulate injury or different pieces to simulate. You can. You certainly can, Crestfallen Kitty. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, I like what you're saying. I'm not going to say no. I know some people have done it and they don't like it. I know if you do it on, like, weapon turrets for tanks, it helps a lot. For me, I'd rather just have a bunch of minis with different weapon loadouts or war gear. That way I can just choose the right one for what I need it to do. If you want to go ahead and simulate injury, you can. I think it's a lot of work, but, like, if you want to, I'm not going to say you can't. You're a creative person. If they're a really small mini, though, it might be kind of hard on, like, individual humans. On a Space Marine, you could probably do it a little bit better. Some people magnetize, like, their hands. That way their weapons can just be swapped out, and that's fine. But that's a good idea, man. Or, like, something with corruption, so if they get corrupted or, you know, whatever it may be, of, like, a tentacle coming off of them. It's pretty sweet. Waffles SVR said, I joined and subbed like an hour ago. Awesome. Triangles said, I uploaded a new video. Triangles, I actually watched some of your content. And I think you actually are very good at it. I really think, Triangles, you have something more, and you're not hitting your audiences just right. So, Warhammer Commentator, WC, told me, put hashtags into your description. That way more people can see it. And those description identifiers, when people are searching, or if they're in certain search algorithms, it'll pop up a lot more. And that's how you get a lot more people to check out your channel, because you have a really cool channel, man. I was watching you, like, in the tank battles and stuff, and I was like, this is actually really funny. You're very funny. Like, you were like the little recon tank, and, like, the big tank, I saw you were shooting at it, and all of a sudden it swiveled towards you, like the fucking main cannon, and you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. You're backing up to get out of there. I thought it was hilarious. So, very funny, Triangles. I do like your content, man. I like the game you were playing, too. It does look like fun. So, I have heard of it, by the way. I saw it, and I was like, I knew that was the game I was thinking of. Yep. He was taking out planes, and, like, there's, like, tanks. It's a tank, like, anti-armor, armor. I don't think there's any infantry in it, which is kind of a shame. But then that would make it too Battlefield-like, and maybe would be too complicated. But I think just the game that you're playing is really cool, and I like it from a tactical perspective as well. Because I do notice you, like, using terrain to your advantage when approaching an enemy or trying to get into cover. It's very smart. You're not just going at them, like, head on, you know what I mean? Magnus said they added infantry to the PC. Oh, did they? Interesting. Okay, good to know. I did not know that. Yeah, I don't know about the mobile one. Yeah, I don't think so. I feel like that'd be way too much. But that's dope. Yeah, see, that's cool. That's a cool game. It actually looks, it looks pretty legit. It even talked about like cooling down your barrels before shooting. So if you're shooting too much, you'll overheat your barrels. And I was like, damn, that's like really realistic. So I thought that was really cool. So if you guys are into that type of content, or if you like games like that, like check out Triangles, man. He's got actually a pretty neat little channel. I could see you going very far, man. You're very personable. I think you're funny as fuck, and yet you play very well. So I know not everyone's perfect, but I was noticing the way that you're approaching things, and I'm like, not bad, dude. War is a game of angles. Remember that, Triangles. Okay, I don't know if that's why you're called Triangles, but war is a game of angles. Navy SEAL once said that. Green Beret also said that. That means if you're approaching an objective and you're coming up at it, it's better to sometimes come at it from a different angle rather than coming at it direct. You know what I mean? So if there's cover, utilize that cover. And then by the time you come out, you're able to ambush them, and then you back up very quickly. Here's another thing you should do. Shoot and scoot. Shoot and scoot. I saw you doing that as well. If there's cover, here's the enemy. You get into the open, bang, 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 bang. Fire at him, back up. Come from this side. Bang, 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 bang. Back up. He might come towards you. If you have a friend, hopefully they can suppress them as well. But like, just keep the enemy guessing. If they start approaching you, fucking track them and come in from a different side. That's how you're gonna win, dude. Keep the enemy guessing. If it's a really big tank and they have a lot of armor, you probably shouldn't be going up against it. You know what I mean? And you're smart like that. So don't take on something that's too big to chew. But if you're a tank killer, you should use that to your advantage. If you're slow, you know, you're going to be a little bit slower, not as nimble. Just make sure you're using your terrain to your advantage. And hard terrain, not just buildings, because they can shoot through that shit. Tucker Allison said, what is this stream about? Welcome, Tucker Allison. This stream is about Warhammer 40K, but we are just talking about different things, various hobbies as well. Triangle said, why, thank you. I try not to cuss. I don't, but Leaf Mush is the closest cuss word I'm going to get, and that's an old French word. Interesting. Yeah, I see you talk the French because you're from Quebec, right? Quebec? Oui. Magnus said, you can say it. LED said, we're on drugs. Yeah, whatever. Whatever, Ellie, it's fine. Forever Lurk 2 said, I got to fire a 20 millimeter. Dude, Vulcan cannon? Holy shit, dude. At an unused mount building as a demonstration trying to get infantry to volunteer for the Avenger Humvee ad system. Oh, that's so badass. Yeah, 20 millimeter Vulcan. I've never seen one in person, but I have seen them shoot. They're in AC-130 gunships, by the way. They're like miniguns, but bigger. That's so cool. Cheese grate that thing, man. That's awesome, Forever Lurk. Thank you for sharing. Magnus said the reason midgets laugh when they play soccer is because the grass tickles their balls. It's so dumb. Thank you, Magnus. I'm not gonna read that, Thomas. It's silly. Good for you. Whatever, dude. Crestfallen Kitty said, Forever Lurk 2, that sounds super cool. Yeah. Triangle says, no, not from Quebec. And honestly, what word is really an actual cuss word anyway? Okay, so it's not really. Well, good for you. You're having clean fun. And you were saying something about your New Year's and how you celebrate it in August or something? What does that even mean, bro? I know you said don't ask about it, but like, I gotta ask about it. You can't say that and not tell them why. I'm a viewer, like, wait, Why can't you celebrate it? Wait, what? Or why do you not celebrate it till August? What the fuck? You some weird religion or something? What? I'm just curious. What is that? Let me get some more minis and paint them. Also, I finished this guy the other day, so I finally got my Havoc Marine done, and man, does he look fucking badass. I'm so proud of this guy. Yeah, he's an aspiring champion, Havoc Marine. But I got him done like 2 days ago. I was able to glue his head on and everything. This is my first painted mini without a helmet on. And I would say I did a pretty good job. On the Discord, I will post a little bit better pictures because it's kind of hard to see it on this camera. I'm just using my iPhone right now. But I am so proud of how he came out. He looks so good. He's super badass. He's my new favorite mini. So I'm really proud of this. And I was so scared for the longest time to paint faces. But I learned through doing it that less is sometimes more. You don't really need to do pupils and all this crazy shit. Like, I didn't even bother with that, and I just think he looks great. And if he passes the 3-foot test, which is if you look at a mini on the tabletop from 3 feet away, if they look good, you did a good job. Okay? So there you go. The bigger the mini, though, you got to step back a little bit further. But if it passes the 3-foot test, which he does, man, does he look cool, then I can consider this guy done. And he's magnetized already, so. Little show off there. Little plug for myself, but I'm really proud of that Marine that I did. Chaos Space Marine. Magnus said, yeah, Ukrainian Christmas and New Year's are like 3 weeks late. Just had my Ukrainian Christmas dinner tonight. Oh. You're Ukrainian? What? Wait, what? I'm learning something new about you, dude. I didn't know that. Why? Why is it late for them? Is that like something going back to the olden times, or what's up with that? That's interesting. Amin Labrakia said, search about One Message Foundation, bro. All right, I'm not even gonna... I don't even know, whatever. Muslim, Islam, Bible. I'm not looking into that. I'm a Christian, dude. LED said, y'all want a new song? Go for it. Lore drop, I'm Ukrainian. Oh, that's cool, Magnus. Did not know that. Lore drop. Indeed a lore drop. Ba-ba-bum. Oh, Triangle said, no, okay. It was just the date that, like, I was born 2010. Okay. I was in Afghanistan in 2010, by the way. So I was in combat when you were fucking born, bro. But I was born right before the regular generations of Gen Alpha. So I'm pre-Gen Alpha. So we are celebrating in August right before the 20th. Like your birthday? New Year's is different from your birthday, homie. I hate to tell you that, but it's not. There's a calendar. Are you not going off the Gregorian calendar? Are you on a different... Are you from the future or something, dude? Like, where are you from? What... Are you Chinese? Are you, like, Chinese New Year or something? The Ni Hao? What the fuck is going on here? What are you talking about, Willis? I consider myself a pretty cultured guy, but I didn't know about all that. Triangles... But thank you for sharing that, man. You said don't ask, but I gotta ask, so... I'm just curious, you know, if I'm a viewer. I like your channel, dude. Keep it up. I will watch some more of your stuff. But you're doing the right thing. Just make sure you put hashtags into your... So if you look at my videos, dude, you'll see that there's a little hashtag miniature painter, hashtag Warhammer 40K. Do that. Do that. Do hashtag gaming. That's like 10 million fucking channels. Do hashtag blah, blah, blah. All that. Just drop that shit in there. And hopefully and slowly you'll get more of a following. And also, if you'd like to subscribe to people, please subscribe to Magnus. And also subscribe to Triangles. Please and thank you. It helps them. Magnus said Ukrainians follow a different calendar, the Julian calendar. Yep. Okay. There you go, dude. Forever Lurk 2 said, lore drop, I'm Texan. We are our own country. I don't care what people say. That's funny. That's funny. I mean, Texas has got its own fascinating history, too. That's where I'm from, by the way. So I was born in Travis County, Texas. Hence the name Travis. There you go. Austin, Texas. There you go, man. So, Triangle said, what do you mean why he's Ukrainian, dude? You don't pay. You're just born on the you don't pay that. You're just born on the country. What does that even mean, homie? LED said, I'm Scottish. Yep. I'm Irish. I'm French. I have a little bit of Puerto Rican in me. So, Forever Lurk 2 said General Travis was badass. You got that right. Yep. You got it. Yep. That's where that came from. So, my mom named me that. Magnus said I'm very Slavic. Oh, that's cool. That's fine, dude. I've met a couple Slavic people over my life, so I've never had a problem with any of them. Ever. They might rub some people the wrong way, but, like, I don't hate. I've always gotten along with them, so no problem. Some people consider them, there's a lot of hate about them, and, like, I've gotten along with all of them, man. I was in IT, and, like, I did a lot of, whenever I did my cybersecurity classes, there were a lot of Slavic people in those classes. So, of course. Gee, I wonder why. Yeah. But they're pretty smart. They're pretty fucking smart, man. Oh, Slavic and skis, and this computes. Yep, there you go, dude. Magnus said very Ukrainian and Croatian. Yep. Avenarius is Croatian, by the way. So, there you go. Said he was born in Canada, but very Slavic. That's what's up, dude. Do you wear a tracksuit? You gotta wear that fucking tracksuit, homie. You gotta rep. And drink your 40s and smoke cigarettes and Slavic squat. I think it's kind of funny. I know it's a stereotype, but it's kind of funny. So. No, I've had many friends who are Slavic, and I have no problem with them, man. They're just boys. They're just hanging out. They're all cool. They might be a little rough around the edges, but, like, they're fucking smart, man. Some of them are really fucking smart. Some of them, maybe not all of them, but I've never had a problem with any of them, man. They always got something to share, too, They're always like, hey, come here. I gotta show you something, dude. I'm like, what's up? They're like, dude, check this shit out. I'm like, ooh. They know how to get my attention. So I never had a problem with any of them, man. It's interesting you say that. And, like, we're friends, So there's another Slavic person. We're friends, you and me, comrade. And some of them DJ too, right? It's fine, dude. My cousin Igor. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on painting, guys. I'm not ignoring you. Let's see what we got here. Magnus said I had a tracksuit. I haven't worn one in a while. Might have to pick it up soon. Yeah, dude. Bring it back. You got to bring it back, bro. Depends on what color you want to go with, though. You could choose, like, red and white to be Canadian, like a Canadian Slav. And that's your shtick. That'd be pretty funny for your channel, dude. Fucking love that. Commissar Magnus. I love it. Triangle said, okay, calm down. I do things different where I come from. Okay, don't ask that. Yeah. Magnus said, friends. We are, yes, sir. Forever Lurk 2 said, I am... the only Slavs I've ever had a problem with were the ones that made practice duck and cover back in middle school. Oh. The only Slavs I ever had a problem with were the ones that made practice duck and cover. What's that about, Forever Lurk? I'm not familiar with. I know what the duck and cover thing is, but like that's from the 50s and 60s. What are you talking about? What is that? What are you referring to there? Magda said my cousin Yuri just made borscht. Yep. Always got that cousin. I love that, dude. That's fucking sweet. Your guys' families are always awesome, too. Slavic families are just so fucking fun. They really are. You guys are fun. Now let me ask you, what do you think of gypsies? What do you think of the what are they, the Romas or whatever the fuck they're called? What do you think of gypsies? Do you get along with them? I don't know if you guys get along with them. I'd imagine they're... I don't want to say they're very similar, but like they're kind of from the same area. I don't know if you guys hate them or what, but I personally don't like gypsies. Sorry. I think they're a bunch of fucking scheming motherfuckers and they just want to take from everything and not do anything for anybody else. They're very selfish, but they look out for their family and like they just have their own way of surviving, I guess. Like, they're survivors, no doubt, but, like, a lot of places kick them out because they don't like them. And, like, in Chicago, it's funny because a lot of the gypsies came up from Florida during the whole migration thing at the border. And when they came up to Chicago, they were actually stealing people's cars and shit. I've run into gypsies more often than not. They're... panhandling for money and like always driving some fucking sketchy white van from fucking Florida or some random fucking plates and everything's stolen and they always have a fucking, you know, oh, my fucking child is in the car and da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, some fucking bullshit story while they're trying to rip you off and take your money. So careful with those people. Oh, Forever Lurk 2 said duck and cover was a thing that they in schools made us do in case of a nuclear attack. Oh, I see. Oh, you didn't like... yeah. Well, in my opinion, I guess those Slavs are different, right? But, I don't know, it's hard to say. Hard to say. I feel like a lot of Ukrainians don't like Russians, but... at the same time, there's a lot of Russians and Ukrainians that are kind of intertwined. So it's like, there's a big, long history about how the Ukrainians were around longer than the Russians. There's a lot of testy waters there. But if you want to look into the history, it's fascinating as well. But the Ukrainians were... I mean, there's so much history there. They're really, I mean, they have churches there that are older than some of the ones in Russia, you know, like we're talking really old, like 2nd century, not 2nd century, but like, I think 7th and 8th century, maybe like AD, like some of their churches are very, very old. It's fascinating, by the way. There's a lot of, I mean, Ukraine now is... unfortunately, I don't want to get into that. I mean, we could talk about it. Like, I'm into Warhammer, right? They're just in a shitty situation. They're just in a fucking shitty situation. And All I gotta say is when the Russians invaded Ukraine, I did not see that coming, by the way. But what I did see was how they drafted all the Ukrainian men and didn't let them leave. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way when they did that. I knew that they were going to do that. I knew it. I was like, oh shit, they're not ready for war, because Ukraine wasn't. They weren't preparing themselves for a full-on, well, I don't want to say a full-on invasion, but an invasion of any sort. They weren't prepared. They were sleeping. They were sleeping. I'm sorry. They were fucking sleeping. They were too focused on other shit when they should have been more focused on what if they actually fucking do it. Because if they would have been more prepared, the Russians wouldn't have been able to do it. It's just like Taiwan and China. Why hasn't China retaken Taiwan yet? Because the Taiwanese are actively preparing themselves for an invasion, and that pushes back the Chinese fucking timelines. They're like, oh shit, maybe we should have done it 10 years ago. They play the long game, right? But like, when they invaded Ukraine, I was like, that's fucking crazy. Never in my life did I ever think I would see that. Ever. Now Ukraine is in a horrible situation, and I've watched a lot of the warfare videos and shit, and body cam footage, and yeah. Now it's out of the news. Not many people talk about it anymore, but it's still going on. And President Vladimir Zelensky came to the U.S. again, and they're trying to work out a peace deal with Russia, and Trump thinks he has the answer to everything, and sorry, Trump, you don't. You don't. He thought he was the fucking God's greatest gift on earth to stop the, Israelis and Hamas from killing each other, and like, we have called a ceasefire, and they're going to have peace talks, and it's all thanks to me, and like, within 24 hours, they were already back to killing each other. So like, it's such a complicated issue. It just sucks, man. I don't like it. I don't like war in person. I don't like war in real life, Like, war is an unfortunate reality of our world. And even though I'm a Marine and like, but combat's, it's just, I don't know. The older you get, the more you look at it and you go, why are we doing this? Why are we killing each other? Why aren't we, I don't know, trying to fucking figure this shit out? And how about we figure out how to like not kill each other? Why don't we stop doing that? Maybe it's not as cool. And the military industrial complex, that'll keep going for years, but I don't know, I hate to see people killing each other, man. I hate it. I don't like to see it. Maybe that's just me, maybe it's my PTSD talking. Maybe it's because I'm older now. When I was younger, I thought the opposite, I thought, why don't we just go to war with more people? We're the best fucking military in the world. Why aren't we kicking more ass, Why don't we save all these countries? And, the whole thing in Rwanda when that happened, like, why aren't we there? Why aren't we doing something about it? I thought we were. I thought we were the nation, we were the world's police, and we were the good guys, and the older you get, you learn the U.S. only gets involved if it's something that affects them directly. Or indirectly, like Venezuela. We got involved with that for multiple reasons, and oil is definitely one of them. Cartels, yeah, sure. That whole thing. The whole communism thing, yeah, I guess we could use that as an excuse, but nah, there's more to it than that. Always more to the story than what they're telling you. And if the money doesn't make sense, I don't think the government's going to get interested in it. So we made it a point to get invested into this conflict, and we're the ones that kicked it off. And I have my own theories about it. I mean, I think the Venezuelan president, this sounds crazy. Sounds crazy. I think he's a U.S. paid fucking operative. I think we're the ones that pay him. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but I think we placed him there because we want to control the fucking oil, and we need the people to want the U.S. to come in. So what do? We get a piece of shit into office, and we pay him to fucking ruin the country. This is crazy, by the way. It's my theory. And then it gets destabilized. The people hate the government. And then they want the U.S. to come in. We come in and we go, hey, we're your heroes. We're here to change everything. Instead of killing the president, we decide to bring him back with his wife like a fucking, like a delivery system. We just go and pick him up casually. We dress him up all nice. He has a thumbs up and fucking handcuffs. What the fuck is that? He doesn't seem like a prisoner to me. Yeah, he might be in handcuffs, but it looks like we're treating him pretty well. If he's that big of a piece of shit, like if that was Saddam Hussein, do you think he would be fucking in handcuffs, thumbs up? No. Motherfucker would be dead. Ideally, right? So that's why I'm questioning. I'm like, why don't they just kill him? Oh, they want to hold him accountable for all of his whatever, you know? Like, I don't know. It to me, I think we're protecting him from the people because maybe there was a coup that was going to happen and we had to get our asset out of there. So he was literally telling the U.S. government on TV, come and get me, come and find me. But in reality, what he's saying is he's actually pleading the U.S. to pull him out because now's the time for the U.S. to act their plan, to get involved. And he was basically showcasing, like, I'm ready to go. Come get me and my wife, please. We're ready to go. You know, like that's, I don't know. That's my head theory. That sounds crazy. Don't get me wrong. But that's just my theory, man. Let me go back to the comments here. Forever Alert 2 said, back then we believed the threats. We thought we were going to get nuked. Yeah, dude. No, I couldn't even imagine how scary that is. Even talking about it now, even now, like the whole Biden thing and like Putin talking about nuclear weapons and Russia wanting to like test nuclear weapons, and then Trump said he's going to test nuclear weapons or whatever. He's going to test the delivery system. He's not going to test the actual nuke. I hope not. But like, you know, North Korea, fucking all that shit puts me on edge, man. I don't like it. I don't like nuclear weapons. They're fucking evil. They're the worst thing of our fucking world. I mean, if aliens come, they're gonna get fucked up. But like, to me, they're the most dangerous weapons we have. And if we use those, which I hope we never do, that's pretty much it, man. That's it. If you're not in a bunker, if you're not a billionaire, or if you're not in government, and you're not protected, you're fucked. You are fucked. They will have us all die. And they'll say, well, that sucked. I guess we'll have to rebuild, guys. And now we can do it our way. And then the elites are in charge, right? So I hope that day never comes, man. As much as it sounds kind of cool and like Fallout, the video game, it ain't going to be like that, homie. It ain't going to be like that. Unless if you're, I don't even know where you could survive it. I mean, if you're fucking Zuckerberg and all these wealthy motherfuckers who bought land in New Zealand, you'll be fine. But the rest of us in the U.S., fuck, dude. To actually survive a nuclear Armageddon, not to mention what the life is going to be like after that, everything being fucking irradiated for fucking generations. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, so. And when Biden was fucking president and all this shit that we're doing and just all this talk that Vladimir Putin was saying about nuclear weapons and how he's not afraid to fucking use them. I don't know. All this rhetoric shit I was hearing coming out of Russia was just really putting me on edge and not in a good place mentally. And my wife was telling me, like, Travis, you need to get help. My PTSD was really bad. I had a plan, too. I was like, well, if this shit happens, we're going to go here. I got gas masks. I got fucking filters up the ass. NVC filters. I got a, you know, I'm a little bit of a, I'm not a prepper anymore. I'm really not. I stopped caring, dude. I stopped giving a fuck, honestly. But I was in a prepping phase for a very long time. I think it's just the military. I'm not like that anymore. But I just found out it's not worth living your life like that sometimes. So, you know what I did? I changed my focus and I said, what can I do that's a healthy, like what's a healthy hobby? Maybe not preparing for the end of the world. And I kind of got into sci-fi. And I got back into Warhammer a little bit more, just because I kind of lost focus of it for a while. I got back into reading it. I got back into watching it or listening to it. And over time, I was just like, man, this is such a cool universe. It's kind of a nice escape, right? It's a nice way to get away from the bad things in life. You know, that's why I like this time, this quiet time to spend with y'all and just have a good time and just paint. There's something about it's therapeutic, you know what I mean? So if you don't have a hobby that is a gift like this for you, I hope you find one. I think everybody needs a hobby. You know, maybe this one isn't for you. If you're on this channel, you're in the right channel, don't get me wrong, but that looks good. Nice coat on that. Wash my brush, and I'm going to go ahead and cap this paint, and I'm going to read some comments. Let's see what we got. Ooh, Forever Lord 2 said I was a draftable age barely during the Cold War. Interesting. My dad was in the Army during the Cold War, so he went to Grenada when that whole shit was going on. He was stationed up in Alaska. If you could believe it or not, check this out, Magnus. My dad was he was ski certified up in Alaska, where they would be put into helicopters. They would go up on the mountain, and they would have to get out of the helicopter and slope down the mountain on skis. How cool is that, right? Like, my dad got to do that back in the day. All white. So he wore all white with his pack. He had his big pack on. He had his rifle. But he would ski to, like, positions and stuff because it was a fast way to get around. And if you didn't know this, during World War II, I want to say it was the Russians that were taking over the Balkans. You know, the Balkans. And I want to say it was I can't remember what nation it was, but they were able to defeat the Russians because they were able to ski. I think, were they the Norwegians? Forgive me, maybe you could tell me, bro. But it was during World War II, and they were just so good with their ski patrols and using their terrain that the Russians didn't have that shit. They were using snowshoes, and like they were really ill-equipped and everything, and they were like, man, we can't even fight and win these guys, which is crazy to think of. But yeah, something kind of cool about World War II, a little bit of history there. It's like a little nation. I can't remember what little country it is, but they had a ski-based military, and they were able to just run circles around the Russians because the Russians were kind of fighting, and they wanted territory too, so... Yeah, LED just keeps doing it. I don't know. Triangles, just ignore it. Forever Lurk 2 said, hard to disagree with that Ukrainian take. If you want to know why, I'll type it out, but it's a 40K stream, your choice. So you hard disagree with that Ukrainian take. Ooh, interesting. Nah, it's all right, dude. Don't worry about it, man. Triangles and LED are fighting. Please stop fighting, you two. Joshua Johnson said, war is not always good. I agree, dude. Magnus said it's never good. 100%, bro. Sometimes you gotta do it, though. Sometimes the only way to deal with bad men is to have your own bad men. Right? But most of the time, if we could do it peacefully, I'd rather do it peacefully. And let's just focus on science and like exploring space, and let's, you know, fix up this world, and let's stop killing each other, and let's solve world hunger and all that. Like, what are we doing? You know, like, stop killing each other. And it's always some fucking shithole country that wants to kill each other. You know, always, God, I hate it, man. Triangle said, okay, friendly fire. LED said, love you. Thank you guys for not fighting anymore. Peter Kane, Doug Training said, gonna sound kind of schizo, but I think that the elites are blood cultists and that we keep fighting wars to feed their deities. Ooh, I'm a conspiracy theorist myself. Lizard men and everything. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, I mean, maybe, dude. Maybe there's some fucking higher powers at work that we don't know about, so they have to just keep fucking shit up every once in a while. It's very chaos of them, right? If you didn't know this in 40K lore, Abaddon, to appease all 4 of the Chaos Gods, sometimes he does things on purpose to appease gods. That's how he gets the power of Chaos Undivided, united, if you will, even though it's kind of hard to unite chaos, but like he gets boon from every single one, and sometimes he'll do things that would not be logically making sense. He'll do things like getting his own men killed, or having his own men turn on his own men, or like crazy shit like that, or he'll like change things randomly. You know, hey, we're not going to go there, we're going to go here instead, or like he's trying to appease all 4 gods, and it's something about 40K lore about Abaddon that people talk about how all of his crusades were failures, yada yada. I mean, they technically weren't when you think about it, because even though it looked like a failure maybe in the battle, but did he lose the war? Maybe what he was doing was preparing to go to Cadia. Maybe he was doing things to get the Imperium to put their resources over here. That way they're fought over here, and then once they win that, or even if we lose that, it doesn't matter. We're going to get closer to this. We're going to take one world at a time. We're going to take this world because it's Admech, and we want the fucking Titans. We're going to go after that one. You know? Like, he has a plan behind everything. He is the big bad, don't get me wrong. He is the evil. He is the big bad in this universe, if you will. Okay? But he does things for a reason. And that's just a little bit of a lore drop for you. If you don't understand that, there you go. If you're ever like, why did he not win this? Or why did that happen? Like, he's doing things on purpose. He's a lot smarter than you think. People don't give him a lot of credit. But like, if you want a good story, if you want a good world building, you need a good villain. Abaddon's a pretty good fucking villain. But there's a lot of other bad guys out there too. And here on Blackheart, he's having a comeback because they just redid his mini. And say what you will about it. Maybe it doesn't look as good, and you could fucking laugh about it and how he looks like, what is it, Grimace and whatever from that UK British cartoon because of his mouth. He's got the bean mouth, which is kind of funny. But, hey, at least he got updated. You know, like, can't hate on that. At least he got updated. That's an old-ass mini, dude. His original mini is, like, what, from, like, fucking 2001 or something? I don't even know how old. Magnus, can you look up how old the original mini of Here on Blackheart was? I'm curious. And then Triangle said, okay, can we stop talking about politics and war and get back to the originally talking about? Yeah, agreed, dude. No problem, bro. Triangle said activating Project May classified intel. I meant Project Mayhem. Yeah, exactly, dude. Mr. Ian Warwick said nuclear weapons have been used to scare the working class for over 80 years. Yeah, you're probably right there too, dude. 100%, dude. LED said, love you if you're of age. Oh my god, here we go back again. Whatever. LED, please stop saying that. Don't say I'm gonna blow my brains out. No. All right, Magnus said, yeah, he's, yeah, hell skiing and cat skiing is so cool. I want to try it sometime. Interesting. Waffles came back in. Hey, what's up, Waffles? Forever Alert 2 said that would be badass. Oh, that would be the finish. That's right. Thank you. I was thinking Norway. It's Finland. Boom. Yep. In the Winter War. Yep. There you go, dude. Yep. Thank you, Forever Lurk. Yep, that's correct. Yeah, the Finnish, they were ski badasses that fought the Russians in the Winter War. That's correct. Maybe it wasn't World War II. Maybe it was post-World War II when the Russians were pushing out to get more territory. But yeah, they like fought against the Finnish, and the Finnish, even though they're a small country and their army's so small, they were just fucking using using everything to their advantage and just beating the Russians at everything. And their little ski patrol that they had, man, the US was taking notes. So my dad got to be a part of a unit that specialized in skiing. Pretty cool, huh? Come on. I hate it when my paint's dry. There we go. Especially the drop bottles, when they dry, you can't get the fucking paint out. That is a problem, I will say, with the drop bottles, so when it dries, you have to try to get the freaking paint out. Just giving a second coat to this Krieg on his helmet here and his armor. Go, a little bit more. Okay, that's a pretty good coat on him. He looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and set this one to the side and work on the next one. LED said, Mama, save me. Forever Look 2 said, I think you typed her into submission. Oh, nope, she's back. She's still here. Triangle said, dang it. I went to get my monster. Uh-oh, I know what that is. Triangles, if Ellie wants to enjoy pain and suffering, she can. All right? It's okay, dude. It's okay. I never said this was a safe space, but, I mean, I am called the Chaotic Crafter, so. And then Magnus said, what's the mini again? Which one are you talking about, brother? I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot to tell you my Warhammer joke, my 40K joke. So it's Krieg specific. But... All right, Magnus. So there's a bunch of Krieg, and they're in a trench in some random world. And they're sitting in the trench, and they're just looking over the top. And all of a sudden, one of the Krieg sees an enemy coming towards them. It's just one guy. One guy, and they see him off in the distance. They look at each other and they go, oh, that's the enemy. Shit, what should we do? So, what do, Magnus? They call artillery on their own position, of course, and die for the Emperor. Oh, God. See one enemy like 500 yards away. And they're just like, shit. Artillery call on our own position. Die for the Emperor. That's pretty good, right? Yeah. I thought of that, so it's kind of funny. Thank you, Magnus. I just came up with it one day. I was like, that's kind of a funny joke. I like it. Go. Nice coat on this helmet. Looks pretty good. I've been wearing these gloves for pretty much most of this entire painting session. They are getting kind of sweaty on the inside, but they're really not that bad. These are the type of gloves that like EMTs wear. These have a little bit more. They're tough. Mechanics wear them, of course, too. And a lot of tattoo artists also use these. So you don't want like surgical gloves. I think those fucking suck personally. And the powder ones, those are, I just don't like them. You don't really get as much like these. I feel like I can hold a mini and I don't feel like I'm slushing around with my hands. So far, so good using the nitro gloves while painting. And I have yet to ruin the paint on any of these minis. So it's kind of nice not sweating all over them all the time. Oh, here's Magnus with a joke. Let's go. One time the Krieg sent men into no man's land to kill orcs that they got in the wire. A space marine asked, why wouldn't they just use artillery to take them out? I don't know why. Why wouldn't they? They said lives are expendable. Shells are not. There you go. Yep, that's a good joke, dude. That's a good joke. That's very Krieg. Yep. Yep. That's so funny, dude. That's so funny. Whoa. LED. I didn't ask about your life, MFer. Whoa. Oh, boy. It's getting heated. Ellie, what's wrong? Why are you angry? What's wrong, girl? What's wrong? What's got you heated? You having a bad day today? What's going on? You do seem a little bit more hostile than usual. Just a little bit. What's wrong? You have a bad day? Triangle said it could also be called a statement. I gotta go, get on, I gotta go. Someone important has contacted me. All right, man, you're good, Triangles. Thanks for stopping by, brother. I appreciate you. I'll watch more of your videos too, so. Then Forever Lurk 2 said a dwarf explaining, here we go, another Warhammer joke. A dwarf explaining the art of the siege to a pointy-eared elf. Would you rather be hit by a 50-pound rock or a pointy stick? What does the dwarf say? Oh, that's a good lore blip there. A little take from the lore, Magnus. I appreciate that, dude. That's very Krieg. It's very Krieg-like. Yep. Lives are expendable, shells are not. So funny. Even though shells are, but like it's just funny. Now, what'd the elf say? Would you rather be hit by a big rock or a pointy stick? Just an easy way to tell him, like, what do you want to do? Would you rather get fucking blown up with a big-ass rock or with a little pointy stick? I would imagine, I mean, the big rock would suck. So you better use siege warfare to get that enemy. Siege warfare is very, very costly, by the way. If you're a attacking army, it takes a lot of resources to carry out a siege campaign. So back in the medieval days, if you will, this is where lawyers come from, if you didn't know. So lawyers were hired by kings to basically call for a ransom, right? Or if they didn't capture a knight or something like that, if they had a dispute with a neighboring king or whatever, no, maybe not a king, but like someone of the land, lawyers would be coming in to basically litigate how to resolve the issue, especially if there was a siege. You know, they would basically go in and kind of like a negotiator. But that's where lawyers come from, if you didn't know that. Kind of cool. No, I think WC is out. He usually checks in, but he usually checks out pretty early. So he's probably doing his own Warhammer stuff, knowing him. So this is a little bit longer of a live stream, but I'm doing okay. I'm still waiting on my wife to come home. She hasn't come home yet. She was at the bar. I left her. She was with all of our friends, but I had to come home to live stream. So we were out and about earlier. Got some good food. I had one drink. That's it. Again, I don't like to drink and do live streams just because I don't want it to like affect my ability to interact with y'all. Because when I don't get like super drunk anymore. I used to drink a lot, but I just don't anymore. And it's like, I don't know, just don't really. I used to like getting drunk, and I used to love the feeling. Now that I'm a little bit older, I'm kind of like, whatever. I don't really care as much. I don't like a hangover. We talked about this before, so. Go. Pretty good coat on him. I want a little bit more on this shoulder pad, this pauldron here. If you even call it a pauldron, this shoulder armor, I'm just going to paint it a little bit more. I like to have a good opacity. I like a good, decent coat on it to where I can't see underneath it. Especially when you're doing a lighter color, you don't want to be able to see the black underneath it too much. You don't have to glob it on there. Do not glob it on there because I will be highlighting and doing weathering to it along with adding transfers on top. So you don't want to like overdo it, but like that's a good coat on him. That's a good opacity where I can look at the mini and I can be like, yeah, that's a good coverage. It's not globbed on there too thick. So you want to have your paints kind of thin. Some people say 2 thin coats, right? That's like the saying. Put this one down. This one down. All right, back to the comments. Oh, Forever Look Dude said, oh, that's it. That's the joke. It was in the old red compendium and had a picture of a dwarf standing by a catapult. Oh, it's like a meme. It's like a cartoon. Isn't that great? Of a picture of a dwarf standing by a catapult pointing at the elf's bowl while sieging a human castle. Yep. That makes a lot more sense. Yep. So just picture that, like a dwarf with an elf, and he's trying to explain siege warfare, and he's like, well, what do you want to do? Like, if you're in that castle, what's worse? This little bow or this massive catapult? So, pretty cool. Also, it was the British or the, medieval, like, catapults were kind of redesigned by them. And, yeah, they're really fucking cool. Catapults are really cool, so. But it's been around since, I don't know if the Greeks did it. I think the Greeks had it. I know the Romans had catapults. But, like, the British brought it back, and they started using it a lot more, and it was very successful at taking out castles, or basically scaring the shit out of them to where the person would just give up. Because a lot of fights, the ideal siege is you want the other people to give up. That's it. You don't even have to spend anything. You just show up with your massive army. You have all these catapults. You have all these tents. And you go, this is going to be a long slog fest. Are you sure about this? And then the fucking defending king goes, never mind. Yeah, trebuchets. Correct. Correct. You got it, man. Magnus said, should I create a Lego clone trooper army? It's a lot of work, homie. If you got time for it. Legos take up a good amount of space, but no more than Warhammer, I guess. So, it's up to you, man. It's your hobby if you want to. I stopped with Legos personally, just because Warhammer took over, and I'm okay with that. I do like Legos. I got this for Christmas. I'll show you. I wouldn't consider it a Lego, but it's Lego-like. So I just got this randomly from my sister, you know, but pretty fucking cool. It looks like a mini 14 or something. But yeah, I got this. I haven't built it yet. I got it for Christmas, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And it's actually functional to where the little magazine comes out. You can feed little rounds in there. It ejects. It's even got a little trigger that you can manipulate. So it's just kind of cool, you know? Something like that. I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet. You know, it's about 1,500 pieces, so it's going to take a long time. But, like, that's kind of cool. My sister got me that. You know, like, that's pretty dope. Oh, it's a Mark 14 battle rifle. Okay. I thought it was a Mini 14. This is what Delta Force used during Black Hawk Down. So if you ever see them, they're like using this fucking rifle in Mogadishu. That's what they used. So the Mark 14 battle rifle, pretty badass. Pretty badass. Some of them, not all of them, right? But some of the badasses use the Mark 14. So I've never shot it personally, but I would love to shoot it. Hell, I've never even seen one in real life, so I would love to shoot. I shot the Barrett 50 cal. Thing's fucking sweet, the big old sniper rifle. I got to shoot that with the Sasser round, armor penetrating. Pretty fucking cool, and I hit the target, dead on. Dead on, first shot, cold barrel, boom! Thunk! And the sniper next to me, he was like watching, he was like, hit. He was like dead on, dude. I was like, fuck yeah, I never shot a sniper rifle in my life. First time I ever did that. I got to shoot it 3 more times. It's pretty cool. Who goes to the gym? I do. LED said the gym is horrible. Ellie. You never know, you might meet your significant other in the gym. It's a good place to meet people. Magnus said, got a shit ton of Legos in my basement. Might send a pic into the Discord tomorrow. That's fine, dude. That's cool. Forever Lurk 2 said, I think the Greeks, it was first and they used the catapult. Yeah, that's what I thought too. They used the catapult. I don't know if they had a trebuchet, but like they used the catapult, and like they had their own siege weapons. They also had the siege tower. So the siege tower was around. I don't know if the Egyptians had the siege tower, but I know the Greeks had the siege towers. So Persians too, right? So the Persians had all that. The Persians were, a lot of people give them shit, but like they were a really big empire until Alexander the Great conquered them. But that's going really far back, right? Talk about some cool history, man. Read up on ancient history. Holy shit. Tell you, I've been to many museums where I've seen things that are fucking crazy. Things that are tens of thousands of years old, you know, or if not older. And you stare at it and you're like, holy shit, this is incredible. Imagine people building this in today's age. I don't think they could do it. Or if you ever stand next to an Egyptian deity, and thing's like fucking 25 feet tall, and you're staring at the fucking toes, and you can see the fucking cuticles on the toes, and this thing's made out of like fucking, I don't know, granite or whatever, a hard like marble, or not marble, like a really hard stone. And like that'll humble you real quick when you see that, and you're like, holy shit. And these people, like the Egyptians, were, you know, they were really advanced for their age. They were like top dogs. And if you go back even further to the Sumerians, you know, like Babylon and stuff, oh my god, it's so cool. I mean, it's a shame that a lot of that is lost to history. That's obviously in Iraq, you know, Syria. The Middle East has got so much history, and unfortunately, a lot of it is lost to war and to time. So it's a shame. It's a shame. But I've seen a good amount of the original Seven Wonders of the World. I've seen Machu Picchu. I've been there. That was fucking cool. I've seen the Colosseum. That was fucking cool. I've yet to be the Great Wall, and I've yet to be to Giza. I've yet to be to the Land of the Kings in Egypt. But one day, I will go. It's just, unfortunately, it's not a good time to go to Egypt. So they don't really like Americans right now, and we're not really getting along too well. Even though the tourism is still a thing, unfortunately, it's not as good as it used to be, and a lot of scammers there. And I had some Marines who went, and they said it was not what they thought it would be, and they got ripped off left, right, and center, and they also got treated like shit when they went there. So Egypt, unfortunately, is not the best place to go right now. Unless if you have family in Egypt, then you can just go whenever you want. Must be nice. Oh, Roscon Polo. I bet I know who you are. What's up, dude? Hey, hey. Thanks for the love, big dog. All right, so we're doing some good painting here. Getting our Krieg done. I'm enjoying it. Magnus said, Travis, are you getting snow? Let me check, dude. Nothing yet by us. But up north, they might be. Or it might be coming down. Usually whenever it hits up north, it's going to make its way down to us. So, not that I've seen. We were supposed to get snow a little bit ago, and we just got rain. It was warm. Like, today was like 30 degrees. I was wearing shorts today, dude. It's like 30 degrees in January, and I'm wearing shorts. I'm like, I don't even need pants, dude. This is great. That's how Midwestern I am. I'm just so used to the cold. Like, I'm literally wearing shorts right now because I was wearing them all day today. Whoo! 10 Celsius up there? Interesting. I don't know what that means. Sorry, I know degrees. What is it like? Is it 30 degrees different? It's a 30 difference? I bet Forever Lurk knows. He seems like the guy that would know what Celsius is. I apologize. I don't know what Celsius is, man. Is that warm or is that... I'd imagine that's warm, right? Because, like... Or is that cold? Forever Lurk, here we go, dude. Talking about some ancient history, dude. I love ancient history, too. It's a shame that it's all lost. A lot of it's lost, and we don't really even understand it. We really don't. Thank God for the Rosetta Stone. Found by Napoleon and his men, by the way, if you didn't know this. Before Napoleon invaded Egypt, I guess he invaded, but before he went to Egypt, if you didn't know this, the ancient Egyptian, all that stuff, all the hieroglyphs were completely unknown. Were completely unknown to the modern world, if you will, the world at the time. But they were the ones who found the Rosetta Stone, and that is what translated Greek and hieroglyphs, and I think it was it Latin? Forgive me if I don't know, but the Rosetta Stone basically translated ancient language to where we could understand it, because Greek is the same. Ancient Greek and modern day Greek is pretty much the exact same now. So part of the Bible was written in Greek, the original Bible, if you didn't know that. But before Napoleon went into Egypt, no one could understand hieroglyphs. Nobody. It was all theory. No one knew what the fuck any of it meant. So you can thank Napoleon for that. There you go. Maybe someone would have found it eventually, but he was the one who found it first, and I'm pretty sure it is in the Louvre. Else the British have it because the British steal everything. LOL. It's the joke about British, like, imperialism. They find an art piece, they're like, oh, better take it back to England. It's ours now. Should probably stay there because it's actually safer than anywhere else. It's like talks of them bringing it back to Egypt and shit. I think it's a terrible idea. It'll just get stolen or fucking destroyed in some way. If you have to ship some of this stuff, like stuff breaks and all that. Like if it's in the British Museum, just keep it there. Just fucking keep it there, or something bad's gonna happen. And the British Museum is pretty fucking down lock. Nobody's getting into that fucker and stealing or breaking stuff. It's pretty hard. Forever Lord 2 said, oh, Magnus said, if 0 degrees Celsius, it is above freezing. -1 degree Celsius is below freezing. Okay, thank you for telling me that. Okay. So if it's 10, that means it's not freezing, so it must be pretty decent then. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I consider it warm. Like, I literally wore a light sweater and shorts today, and I was fine. I'm like, this isn't even cold, dude. Forever Lord 2 said the enemy king replied that, ooh, back to the story. There was this king by the name of Ashurbanipal. He was a Syrian. He invited his enemy to eat at his table. When the enemy king finished his meal, Ashurbanipal asked him if he liked his meal. The enemy king replied that he loved it and it was the best meal ever. Well, Ashurbanipal had captured the enemy's king's son and baked them into the stew that he just... Hi, Maddie. Welcome, welcome. That he just gulped down in delight. Holy shit, that's a crazy story. Did not know about that. Yeah, the Assyrians are fucking crazy. Hi, hon.
Hi.
How was everything?
It was good.
It was good, yeah.
There's karaoke, and there's one guy that he could really sing. He was so good. Yeah. Jess thought he was hot.
Well, there you go. Did you do karaoke?
Do you think I did karaoke?
No.
Do I look like I'm the kind of girl that does karaoke?
Nope.
But we did play a fun card game.
Ooh, what'd you play?
I have no idea what it's called.
Was it like with traditional cards or?
Yes.
Okay, who busted it out?
Jess had cards in her car.
Oh.
I missed out on a fun little card game.
Yeah. Well, I came home just to paint and hang out with these esteemed guests.
Subscribers.
My subscribers.
Your subscribey friends.
Yes. My subfriends. Except Ellie's on one tonight. I don't know what's going on.
What do you mean?
I don't know. She's just in a bad mood today.
Ellie.
She's like picking fights with everybody. I don't know what's going on. She won't tell me either. She's just picking fights with everybody. I don't know what her problem is, man. But she's got to go. It's midnight, so good night,
Then she
Ellie.
said, never mind. Oh, hi.
Jeez.
Hello, Travis's wife. Oh, nice. What are you painting? Asking Forever Lurk.
Krieg.
No, I think he was asking Forever Lurk.
Oh, he was asking Forever Lurk?
Magnus was asking Forever Lurk.
Oh, okay.
You know, you're almost at 3 hours.
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to come home, too.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. Tonight's a long night. It's fine. It's, what is it, Friday night? So.
Freitag.
Yep, Freitag. So, just chilling. I learned Magnus is Ukrainian today.
Ukrainian?
Yeah.
Ooh.
He said, lore drop, I'm Ukrainian. I was like, oh, shit, I had no idea.
Well, good for him.
Well, good for him. Maddie said good for you.
Well, yeah.
Did you drink anything?
Did I?
Probably knowing you. What else were you
It
doing?
depends. Can I or can I not have a cigarette?
I have nothing to say about any of that.
I know I didn't drink anything.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
Actually, I drank Coke Zero. I mean, Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And then some water.
Did you try the milkshake?
Yeah, it sucked.
Really?
Yeah, it tasted like milk.
Oh, it's like watered down.
Yeah, it was so bad, and it took fucking ever.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was expensive too, right?
Yeah, it was. There was such a letdown.
Damn. Did the other girls like it, or?
They drank it. I ate down the rest of mine.
Oh, okay. You're just like, this is not it. We're so spoiled. We're coming from Chicago. We're so spoiled to having good food. Like, anywhere we go, guys, like, it's really hard to, like, actually please me when I'm eating something. So I'll, like, taste it, and I'm just like, it's so bland, you know? It's weird. You just get this, like, palate over time, and me and Maddie are spoiled with our fine dining that we've done. So... we're always looking for good food. We're decent foodies too. I wouldn't say we're like full on foodies, but like I have a couple foodie friends, and you know, I'll talk to them like, hey, where's the good spots at? Like, what have you tried? And you know, you kind of get a little spoiled from that over time, and then everything else after that just doesn't taste the same, man. It really doesn't. It's a shame. Or if like you have parents, you know, like your mom cooks, like nothing can replicate that, you know? Like my stepdad's chili, fucking best chili ever, you know? So fucking good. You just made great chili. It's hard to replicate that, you know what I mean? All right, so this Krieg is painted up. I'm gonna go ahead and let him dry. I'm almost done with this whole squad. Can you believe it? How fun. I wanted to try to finish them tonight and just get them done so I could go back to my Black Legion maybe, or I might start on just a regular Space Marine. I was going to paint him up like Buzz Lightyear for the lulz. Or there is a tournament coming up here, and I was hoping to get my Black Legion together soon. That way I can actually like play my Black Legion, because I haven't fielded them yet. But that tournament's coming up late January of this year, and I already got tickets to it. It's $30. It's called Castle Con. Look it up. But it's here in Rochester, Minnesota. So if anyone here is close to that area, you're more than welcome to come. I also know the event coordinator for the Warhammer specific stuff. So everything 40K, it's going through Derek. He can answer any questions if you have any. But they will be having tournaments. They're having a painting competition. So you'll get a mini and paint, and you have time to paint it within certain parameter, and whoever has the best one wins, right? What do you win? I don't know, probably just like a fucking little trophy or something, but it's just something kind of fun. And for me, I'm deciding on... I also have my badge in Caddock Crafter 0, so it doesn't have my actual name on it. I will be playing games. There's other tabletop stuff there too, but I was probably going to walk around with my camera and just capture it. I might even go live and just live stream it so y'all could fucking tune in. But I think it'd be really good content. What's up? Your phone? I don't know. Probably in your jacket. Sorry, I got a little paint spill, so I'm just using this to soak it up there. All right. Magnus said, thank you, Maddie, about Ukrainian stuff. Forever Lurk 2 said, I'm going to go strip my 20 lady squad of old school metal demonettes. I have a lot of old stuff. Oh, there you go, dude. So you're going to go repaint them? Those are actually pretty sought after, the old school ones. I've heard that they're kind of sought after, so call me wrong, but Magnus said I might redo my paint scheme for my Krieg. I think my current one looks a little bland. Really? Okay. That's fine, brother. LED said could have killed him in the first season. Forever Lord 2 said I had a squad of Krieg-like minis back in the day. Kind of a urban tiger stripe camo, lots of hand painting. I was thinking about doing that too, dude. I was really close to doing like British tiger stripe, you know what I mean? Like their type of camo. It's pretty fucking cool looking. I was really close to doing that with these guys. I didn't do it just because of time, right? I could. I might do it on the tanks. Maybe on the tanks I'll do it. It'll look kind of fucking cool. I'll play around with it, see if I like it or not, so. Because these are Desert Siege Krieg. So that's my head cannon here. What desert world? I don't know. Fucking Dune. I'm going to have to think about it, but I don't know, something about the desert just really calls to me. Like, you could have done Jungle, you know, or like Catachan, and, you know, Cadians always get all the love. They're probably the most popular. They're like they're literally the poster children of the Guard, right? Is the Cadians. For a good reason. Like, Cadians are fucking cool, by the way. I don't play Cadians, but like I can respect them a lot. So, and you could do a lot with them too. But you could also just keep them like standard Cadian green, and they're just the Cadians. They're in every situation all over the universe or over the galaxy, and they're just being thrown into different fucking war zones. But like they're usually the strongest of the Guard that are there, you know? Like when they show up, like they're the ones that are pushing all the other soldiers forward because they're so freaking motivated. The Cadians' lore is fascinating. How they were like children and they're learning how to fucking, you know, take weapons apart and stuff. And like that's just the Cadian way. And even though Cadian doesn't stand anymore, you know, Cadian fell. But, you know, the soldiers are still coveted. And they're kind of like murked out, if you will. They're kind of mercenaried out because like Cadian troops are really good. Cadian shock troops and all that. Like they're pretty badass. So.
My phone's right here.
Oh, there's your phone. I wasn't looking, so.
You have 15 likes?
14.
Mine says 15.
Oh, I have 15? Oh.
Do you see how many subscribers you have?
A couple more, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was looking at it.
So it was worth it. I mean, I came home just to hang out anyway.
Are you
But
on still?
I am still on, yes ma'am.
322
322 what?
subscribers.
I have 322?
200.
Oh, I was like, what? Whew. Holy crap.
What did you have before, 217 or something?
Yeah, I did. Oh, that's great.
So you
Yeah.
have 5.
Yay, 5 new subscribers. That's how it goes. Forever Lord 2 said my old dog, like 3 dogs ago, his name was Bandit. I can't type tonight. Yeah. Oh, Ellie says, have you seen Stranger Things? Yes, I have. I watched every episode. And the new ones, too. So if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it, too. Go for it, Ellie. What do you want to say? Unless if anyone wants to not get, you know. Oh, Forever Lord 2 said I watched the first 2 seasons and it got silly. Yeah, they definitely, they ramped it up every season, and that was on purpose, by the way. That was on purpose, dude. Yeah. Magnus said I tried watching the first one and got bored. Oh, all right.
Better.
It does get better.
It was rough at first.
Yeah, it was a little rough. Like, it's a bunch of little kids, you know, and there is more to the story because it's all about the missing kid. You know what I mean? Like the little guy, like where did he go? And things get fucking wild in Stranger Things. Holy shit! It's like a fucking. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just crazy. Stranger Things is a very interesting shit. It's a strange show. Don't get me wrong, but I liked it. I liked it. That was kind of fun. So, it takes place in the 80s, like kind of a fun a fun theme. It's not modern with cell phones and all that. It's like, you know, back in the day, and they have a lot of culture throwbacks and like things that happened back then that were like, you know, pretty big deals back in the 80s. You know, Never Ending Story. They talk about like bands, and somehow they don't have Metallica in it. They should have had Metallica in it, but like Prince was mentioned in it in the most recent one here. You know. Every time I think of Prince, I always think of Chappelle Show. Personally, I can't help it. Every time I think of Prince, I always think of Chappelle Show and how he's like playing basketball and with Charlie Murphy, and he beats all of his buddies in basketball. Like, true story. It's so funny. And Prince is from Minnesota, if you didn't know. You can actually go see his house, and we haven't done it yet, but one of these days we're gonna go do it, because why not, you know? He's an American icon, you know. Love him or hate him, he did a lot for music. And he's his own guy, man. He's his own guy. He's very interesting. He was really cool back in the day, so he was the man. He didn't look like it. He looks a little funky sometimes, but back in the day, man, he was a ladies' man. Big time. LED said, I love Stranger Things. I like Stranger Things too. Go ahead, what's your question, Ellie? Let me hear it. Got 5 people in here. Hey, thanks for hanging out, guys. I will be cutting this soon. Forever Lord 2 said, yeah, Prince did a few good things for me. Whenever the DJ played Purple Rain, I got to grab my GF's ass. Nice. I love that, dude. Purple Rain, Purple Rain. Yeah, dude. Prince is the man, all right? He looked a little funny, but you know what? That guy was a American icon, so yeah. He did a lot for the rock genre, and it's different, right? It's not your traditional rock, but like he was his own style. So I don't hate Prince. I think he's pretty fucking cool, so come on. Oh, there it goes. God, this thing keeps drying up like crazy. I'm just gonna have to cap this, because that keeps drying up on me. The freaking Vallejo. I have to keep freaking getting it unstuck every 5 seconds. And then LED said, do you like crunchy Cheetos or puffy Cheetos? That's a good question, Ellie. That is a good question. Ooh. Maddie, what do you like? Crunchy Cheetos or puff Cheetos?
I think I like crunchy.
You like crunchy? Okay. I feel like I like crunchy too. Like, I really
like the crunchy jalapeno cheddar one.
Yeah, she likes the jalapeno cheater. Cheeto. Jalapeno cheater. Daniel said, I like country. Well, that's good.
Ooh, there was one guy that sang Tennessee Whiskey.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's cool song. I like country too. Dun, 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 dun. Tennessee Whiskey. I love country. I like metal too, don't get me wrong. I like rock and everything, but like, I love country. I really do. It's a country boy at heart. It's like the joke of the meme where it's like my playlist if they all hung out. And they're all like sitting on a bench and shit. So that's my music. I listen to a little bit of everything. I guess the military did that to me, because you meet so many people from all over the world, all over the U.S. too, and like You get to listen to different types of music from, you know, where they're from, and they have like their local artists, and you're like, damn, this is a fucking good beat, man. They're like, yep, this guy's from my hometown, or this guy's from our state, and he's getting big on the radio, and it's kind of fun, you know? So you get to meet a lot of different people in the military, and your music flavor might change a little bit, you know? You kind of change with it, right? So I like crunchy personally. All right? I like crunchy Cheetos. I don't hate puffy. I just don't go for them. I don't like go out of my way to be like, ooh, puffy Cheetos. Like, if someone's got them, I'll be like, oh, can I have some? But I won't buy them. You know what I mean? Also, did you give the candy to the girls? That candy we bought?
Yeah.
Oh, anybody want it?
Yeah, Lynn's.
Lindsay would. I was literally.
Everybody else hated it.
I was literally gonna say I bet Lindsay took it. That's crazy that I knew that. Yeah.
Lynn's.
Lynn's now?
She's been going by Lynn's.
I call her Lindsay and she hasn't said anything wrong about that.
Okay, call her Lynn's.
Why do people have to be so particular?
It's Lynn's,
Okay.
Jess, Nicole, and Anna. She literally introduced herself as Lynn's.
Alright, fine. Lynn's. Whatever. It's like your mom being like, I am Christine, not Chrissy. How dare you? And then your brother's like, I'm not Richard, I'm Ricky.
He's Richard.
He's... I don't like calling him Ricky. I don't like it.
Then call him Richard.
Yeah, I usually do. Because, like, Ricky to me is like... I don't know. Maybe it works for him.
You call him Ricky, though.
I have.
Why not just call him Richard?
What if I just call him Dick?
And you'll get punched in the dick.
I'm like, hey, Dick.
Yeah. You want to try that with my brother?
He'd be like, oh, I see what you did there.
That would just be disrespectful.
I mean, that's a common nickname.
That would just be disrespectful.
I'm just saying.
That would just be disrespectful.
Oh my god. Here you are getting up. See, people get so fucking pissy about their names. I'm like, you can call me
Hey,
Trav.
Trevor.
I'm not Trevor, though. That's completely different.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, Trevista.
Trevista's fine. I've been called Trevista multiple times. I'm like, okay.
Okay, Trevista.
I don't get all pissy about Trayvon. Word. I've never gotten pissy about people saying different ways of my name.
Okay, Travis.
Or if they're like, oh, T. You know, they call me T. I'm like, what's up, dude? Like, my dad calls me Z, man.
Yeah, you could call him R, but calling him Dick.
So if I was like, hey, what's up,
He would probably prefer that. Than
What if I call him Riri?
He would literally. That's more respectful than calling him Dick.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, people get so pissy about the way that you say their names, and I'm like, bro, chill, dude. Who pissed in your Cheerios?
You did.
God. Put some respect on my name.
No, for real.
It reminds me, who's that rapper that cried? It was Birdman.
Why do you get so pissed off when your family misspells my name?
Because I've told them multiple times how it's spelled.
It's the same fucking thing. Same principle.
That's different, though.
No, it's not. It's the same principle.
So if you said, call me Mads, and someone called you Maddie, you would be like, how fucking dare you call me by a different name?
If it's somebody that I know,
Yeah.
somebody that I'm friends with,
Yeah.
or a family member,
Yeah. I mean, what if they come up with a nickname for you?
that's different.
Okay.
An appropriate nickname.
Okay. I'm taking these off.
Are you still on live?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm about to wrap up on live.
Everybody agrees with me.
They might be. What do y'all think?
Definitely are.
Is it too much? Like, people take themselves a little too seriously, in my opinion.
No.
You know, like, if someone's like, Unless if you're like, don't call me that name because my father who used to beat me called me that name or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if there's some trauma tied to it. Is there trauma with Lindsay? With Linz?
Who knows?
All right, let's see.
What if somebody who doesn't like her, or like when she's in trouble, she gets called Lindsay, and then she just prefers Linz?
Okay. Daniel says, I'm from Texas. I'm a real country boy. Hell yeah. Forever Lurk 2 said, you're my brother, Daniel. Texas rules the chat. Let's go, Texas. Usually it's either Canada or Texas. I love this. Magnus said, in our downtown, we have a burger place called The Works. Best burger I've ever had. Ooh.
We have one, I think, called The Works, or something kind of like that.
And then he said,
I've heard of The Works.
He said, I got a burger called Skater Boy. It's peanut butter, bacon, all that, except lettuce and tomato for around $15. I would definitely try that. That is crazy. That's funny, though.
What does that mean?
I will piss in your Cheerios. Whatever. Triangles said I'm back. Welcome, Triangles. Hey, we'll be calling this pretty soon, man. We're almost to the 200-minute mark.
In their own world, don't assign malevolence when complacency is likely the culprit. Is the likely culprit. What does that mean?
I get it.
It means just call people what they want to be called.
Yeah. And if they don't like another name, then don't assume it's because they hate you or something like that. Is that what you mean, bro? Life advice from Forever Lord 2. Because I never had Lindsay ever say, hi, my name's Linz, only call me Linz. You know what I mean?
She's not going to say only call me Linz, but it's just a respect thing. When someone is asked to be called something, you respect them and call them by the name that they ask for.
But okay. But her name's Lindsay. Her full name is Lindsay.
My full name is Madeline.
Correct. But you go by Maddie.
Yes.
If someone says Madeline, does it hurt your feelings?
No, but I would be like, why are you calling me that?
There you go. I've called her Madeline before. I think it's a pretty name.
Okay, well, does it annoy me when people call me Madeline? Yes.
But that's not the right way to say it. If I said Lindsay,
same thing.
if I was like Lindsay.
No, Travis, it's the same thing.
Oh my gosh. Funny. Triangle said, please don't leave. I had to go on a business call. Oh. What business are you in, my friend? What are you doing? Hopefully it's good business, not bad business. I will be calling it, dude. It's kind of late. I apologize. I'm pretty much actually done painting my Krieg right now. I actually got really far, so I'm pretty happy. There is more to do with it, but I did get bases put on the other guys. I'm very happy with that. I'm glad y'all could be a part of here for that. I hope you learned something today. Again, whenever you're using glue, I prefer plastic glue personally. The Citadel glue is just fine. I also have Tamiya as well, very good. But those are the two glues that I prefer. I did use super glue in the past. Didn't have a lot of luck with it. It's a pain in the ass, especially if you get the gel. Do not get the super glue gel. Oh my God, you will hate yourself forever. It's so messy. It gets everywhere and doesn't cure right. It doesn't look good and you have to scrape it off. But I like plastic glue and Tamiya, so very good. And remember, plastic on plastic, always scrape the paint off of it or else you won't get a good molecular seal. So ooh, Triangle said, excuse me, Chaotic Creator Zero. I mean this with all due respect at all, but your wife, if I'm correct, has a beautiful name, almost close to Madison, which I can relate to. Yep, hers is Madeline. Yep, I think it's a really pretty name. She goes by Maddie, so M-A-D-D-Y. That's what she prefers. If you do I-E, though, look out. Look out. And then, okay, Triangles, you don't have to tell me, man. Don't worry about it, man. I'm glad you're back here, though. But I will be calling it here very soon. It's almost a 200-minute mark, and that's where I'll be calling it. And then Forever Lord 2 said the gel stuff always clogs the tube as well. Pain in the butt. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yeah, that gel, oh, don't, yeah, it clogs in the tube. It's so bad. You have to use like a needle to like stab it out. And then when you go to squeeze it, it just splurges all over your freaking shit. And you get it all over your freaking hands. It's horrible. Don't use super glue. Like, if you're going to use super glue, you can use it like kind of runny, I guess. Just be careful with it. It's just ridiculous. It really is. Yeah, I agree. So Forever Lord 2 is of the same mindset. You know what I mean? LED is on one, dude. LED is looking for love. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love. Too many faces passing me by. Looking for traces of what you're dreaming of. Old country song. So. LED said, I thought you were in your 30s. He's calling her a pedo. Oh my God, LED. Oh my God. I think Magnus is like 27 or something. Or he's old. He's not like old, you know. Forever Lord 2 said, I only use super glue if I'm gluing stuff to the base. Okay, that's fair. Like the stuff I scrape off of my roof. Oh, you're using like hardcore shit, huh? Damn. Hey, if it works for you, dude, there you go. Forever Lord 2 said I'm old. Yeah, I'm feeling like it. Armored All Might, hey, thanks for joining, man. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, please, please. I'm trying to get to 500 before March of this year. It would really help. I'm about to call this live, though. I will be closing up shop. I really want to thank everybody for staying on here, hanging out with me. I do want to welcome the new subscribers. I'm really glad you're all with me, and I will be going live tomorrow night, too. So it's Saturday night. Why not capitalize on it for a couple hours, maybe an hour and a half, hang out some more, paint some more things, and I'd like to get these Krieg finished. So thank you. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. We do everything 40K here. We also talk about hobbies and just life stuff, but like every subscriber helps me. And I consider myself a pretty down-to-earth kind of guy, so I like meeting new people. Magnus said, hey, just to remind you before you sign off to set me to mod on the Discord. Okay, I thought I did, but I'll try it again, Magnus. Yeah, I'll let you be mod. I thought I did, but I'll log in and I'll do that before the end of the night, I promise. Thanks for reminding me. But other than that, everybody, I do want to thank you very much for hanging out. Oh, you couldn't see it? Okay, all right. I'll go in and I'll see if I thought I did, but I'll go in and I'll check the settings again. So, yeah, hey, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Much love, much appreciation, and y'all are the best. And tomorrow night I'll be just doing a little bit more of the same. I'd like to finish these Krieg up. They might be done before I even get on. We're on drugs. You're very welcome for the stream. Absolutely, my friend. Thank you for joining. I always appreciate talking history. I love that stuff. Armored All Might said you're welcome. I like drawing, and just to let you know, I have a YouTube channel. Awesome. All right. Hey, you subscribe to me, I subscribe to you. And then my friends that are on here, they'll subscribe to you too. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, it helps everybody out. Let's grow together. Let's get better. New year. Let's do it right. Other than that, that's all I got. This is Travis with Chaotic Crafter Zero signing off. Until the next time. Bye.